SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly. 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 SESportsnet.com live programming begins shortly.
SE Sportsnet, the exclusive home for Greyhound sports.
Back to pass. Wilson lets it loose up the near sidelines, and he has Norman at the 40. Norman at the 30. Norman's going to go all the way for the Greyhound touchdown.
Geiger kicks it outside, and Geiger's going to score. Three wide receivers to the far side, back to pass. Gustafson's going to throw it out there in the slot again, and this is Wade Mills. He's going to get it for the touchdown.
It's picked off by Wade Mills at the 35. Mills back across midfield. Mills at the 30, cuts to the inside, he's at the 20. Wade Mills at the 15, the 10, the 5, touchdown Wade Mills.
SE Sportsnet is proud to bring you Shippensburg Greyhound football. Tonight, Shippensburg takes on Waynesboro. Shippensburg Greyhound football on SE Sportsnet is presented by the Kramer Insurance Agency and brought to you by New Life Painting, Kathy's Deli, Premier Events, The News Chronicle, Rita's of Shippensburg, and Chamberlain's Pest Control. Now it's time for the Greyhound Countdown to Kickoff. Live from Waynesboro, here's Scott Smith, Rob Ebersole, and J.D. Davidson.
The Friday night lights are on in Waynesboro tonight as the Shippensburg Greyhounds travel across Franklin County to take on the Waynesboro Indians on homecoming here in Waynesboro. Hi again, everybody, and welcome into SE Sportsnet coverage. J.D. Davidson, Rob Ebersole, and Scott Smith with you on a beautiful summer Friday night, partner.
It sure is. It's a perfect night for football, and exciting matchup tonight, the first game in the Colonial Division for both these teams, and Shippensburg looking to go 4-0 in the young season.
Well, Shippensburg with a dramatic come-from-behind victory last week down at Bermudian Springs. Big effort by Hauser coming into the ball game late in the second quarter and most of the third quarter, racking up over 150 yards. And Shippensburg hung on to beat Bermudian Springs in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, Adam Hauser played in the first quarter of the first game of the year and had 3 yards rushing before he was hurt. The high ankle sprain, he sat out a game, and then last week he returned. As you mentioned, Scott, he didn't start the game, played the second and third quarter very well, and then sat out the fourth. And he's all of a sudden become the leading rusher with only 13 carries and 161 yards. And he's also scored 2 touchdowns for the Greyhounds.
And another nice performance by Carter Van Syhock.
Yeah, Carter Van Syhock, the Patriot News always does their weekly rankings as far as the top passer, rusher, and receiver. And Carter is ranked 16th in the Mid-Penn as far as quarterback ranking. He's 33 for 57, 517 yards, 6 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. But I think you'd agree with me, Scott. I think it's something that Shippensburg still has to get better at. I mean, Carter Van Syhock has been pressured all year long. The offensive line has showed some good signs at times, and at other times they just get beat badly. So tonight here against Waynesboro, that's something I think we need to look at. Is Shippensburg needs to come out and throw the ball, be able to throw the ball to complement the running game by Hauser.
Well, we saw more consistency last week, but I still think that Coach Faust wants to see 4 good quarters out of this ball club.
Yeah, we finally got the monkey off our back as far as scoring in the second half, as they scored it well in the third quarter to come back, as you mentioned, against Bermudian Springs. But we were talking on the way up here is they really need a big, dominant effort. And Waynesboro is not off to a very good start. We'll talk about them in a minute, but Shippensburg really needs to come out here and show that they're one of the premier teams in Mid-Penn, obviously, and the Colonial Division.
Well, we keep talking about the quality of the Colonial Division this year, and we look at some of the powerhouses that normally have good football teams in Greencastle and Northern, this Waynesboro group, and they just don't seem to have caught on yet here, even though it's only week 4 of the season.
Yeah, you're right, and you know the big guys, the teams that we think going to give Shippensburg a battle are obviously later on in the season. We don't know about Riverdale, next week's opponent, and obviously then we'll be traveling to Mifflin County the week after that. So Shippensburg has some good teams to face, and like I said, just to have 4 quarters of a consistent football, especially offensively.
I get a lot of questions during the week from a lot of fans, Rob, and they say compare this team to last year's team, which was so dominant and went to the district playoffs. This is a good squad, but they're still young and they've still got a lot to mature.
Well, I'll go back to that statistics I was just talking about in the Patriot News Pen Live. Well, last year we would mention 3 names in the top, and it was in the top 10 in all 3. Cody Gustafson, obviously the wide receiver, Adam Hauser, the running back, and of course Carter Van Syhock. So they're missing Cody Gustafson to obviously graduation. They have not had a healthy Adam Hauser for the first 3 games. So there's the key for Hauser, obviously, to come back strong. And the wide receivers are going to have to get open and be able to catch some passes from Van Syhock.
I think on the other side of the ball as well, the linebackers are younger. The secondary has yet to really be tested. They're not going to get tested tonight with Waynesboro either, because Waynesboro doesn't throw the football. No,
Isaiah Kirshner is the quarterback, and he's thrown 44 times in the 3 games, 9.5 yards per game, and he has not thrown a touchdown, but he's also the leading rusher. So that's interesting. He's averaging 8.5 yards per carry. So and he's run for 232 yards in the 3 games. Waynesboro only 1-2. They lost to Red Line their opening game badly, 35-7. They beat Lancaster Catholic 2 weeks ago, 23-10, and lost last week 14-13 to Gettysburg.
Yeah, and which was described in everything that we read in a real close ball game that they could have won.
Yeah, that's true. So they're going to be fired up here tonight. Obviously, homecoming and the first division game against the team Shippensburg, who has handled them pretty easily the last 2 years.
The Indians and the Greyhounds coming up next on SC Sportsnet. More from our Countdown to Kickoff show after these messages.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Every day, the Shippensburg News Chronicle makes it their business to cover the local news. From breaking news to features, from local government to sports, the News Chronicle lives and breathes Shippensburg. In today's fast-paced world, where there are many ways to stay informed and connected with the News Chronicle, the print edition, or the online website subscription, or the easy-to-read e-edition. To subscribe and select what fits your lifestyle, visit shipnc.com. Since 1844, the News Chronicle has been reporting on the people and the news of the Shippensburg area. Keep in touch today at shipnc.com, the Shippensburg News Chronicle.
Your complete quality satisfaction is unconditionally guaranteed. That's the backbone that New Life Painting of Shippensburg has built their business on since 1998. New Life Painting has been providing Central Pennsylvania residential and commercial painting at its best. Keith and Chris Carroll welcome the opportunity to discuss your next painting project with a free on-the-spot estimate, and your satisfaction is the center of their quality work. Give them a call at 423-5577, and you'll soon learn what satisfaction and guaranteed is all about.
I'm going to bring J.D. Davidson in for a moment and get your insights on the game tonight, buddy.
Well, this is when the season begins. We're in the league play now. We've played 3 out of league games, won all 3 of them, but now it's when the real season starts, and we'll find out a lot about our division as everybody's playing everybody now from here on out, except for since James Buchanan dropped out, everybody's got that odd week in there and so forth. But everybody else is matched up in the division, and we'll see how other teams shape out. And, everybody had to replace people from last year, and so we'll see how we start stacking up from here on out.
Yeah, and Waynesboro at home, everybody's going to be fired up because of homecoming, and quarterback's back from last year. And you were saying before the game, plays that shotgun offense and does a lot of running himself and hands off to his receivers a lot. Doesn't really throw the ball a whole lot.
Right. But, you said he had 44. That's 15 attempts a game. So they do try to throw the ball. He's just maybe not as accurate as what Bobby Rydell was last year for Waynesboro and so forth. So, we'll see. Our secondary is a little young. We've got some good play out of Austin Hurst at the one corner and so forth. And the linebackers, like you said, we're young. They need to start stepping up and playing a little bit better. And we got to do a lot better against the run what we have in the first 3 ball games so far this year.
And we did see Adam Hauser suited up, and I'm assuming he's going to play tonight, and obviously a big cog in the offense.
Yeah, I expect him to be on the field from the get-go tonight. Last week I think they were a little cautious and so forth. But I expect him to be the go on the get-go tonight.
Okay, JD, thanks a lot. We'll be back with the opening kickoff in a moment.
Advantage ChemDry understands that your pets are an important part of your family. But what happens when they cause messes? We have a revolutionary pet urine removal treatment that's specially formulated to eliminate urine odors. We offer full evaluations, including treating your subfloor, carpet, padding, and new flooring replacement. Stop being embarrassed by your pet's accidents and call me, Ashley, at 717-532-8676. Or visit us online at AdvantageChemDry.com. Get $20 off your pet urine removal treatment.
Premier Events West Orange Street in Shippensburg is the place to go for excellent upscale food and service in the Shippensburg area. Premier Events is a premier banquet and special events facility that offers catering for all occasions in their beautiful chandelier-lit banquet room. All their delicious food is freshly prepared and can be served on or off-site at your chosen location. Call them today at 532-2279 to book your party and let your next event be a premier event.
Hey, insurance companies that want to spend $1 gazillion on funny TV ads can go right ahead, as long as it's not my money paying for it. For seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance, I go to Erie Insurance, where a great price is just the start. You get unbelievable service, independent agents you can really trust, and superior products. But don't just take it from me. Talk to your local Erie agent.
Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Back to our countdown to kickoff from Waynesboro tonight on SC Sportsnet. The Shippensburg Greyhounds in their second road game of this young season, taking on the Waynesboro Indians as the blue and gold hit the field here at Buchanan Park Stadium. The Greyhounds already on the far side of the field, and we're just about set for action here on this Friday night. Glad to have you along on SE Sportsnet.
It's kickoff time for Greyhound football on SE Sportsnet. Now let's go live to the broadcast booth in Waynesboro. Here's Scott Smith and Rob Ebersole.
Glad to have you along on Friday night on SE Sportsnet. Pull up a chair, find yourself a nice cold beverage, and enjoy the Indians and the Greyhounds on SE Sportsnet. Our opening kickoff sponsored by Rita's Iced Custard Happiness. Call 532-9866 for cool catering. That's Rita's Ice Custard Happiness. So both teams out on the field here, partner, and we're just about set to get this one underway tonight.
We'll talk a little bit about the Waynesboro defense whenever before the coin toss is held at midfield. Going to be calling Raiden Frampton, the leading tackler, and also has 4 sacks in 3 games, and a couple other names from last year that are back. Defensive back Quentin Gaskill, defensive back Jimmy Hoffman. So they do have some experience back defensively, and it's just a matter of how Shippensburg, their offensive line can protect Carter Van Sock and give him time to throw the ball.
Yeah, when you kind of look at the stats, Rob, you look at 3 names, Kirshner, Hoffman, Drumsta, and Frampton.
Yep.
And they're on both sides of the ball, because when you look at their defensive stats, Mason Frampton is their leading tackler. So they're going to spend a lot of time out on this gridiron here tonight.
It's interesting, the head coach, Coach Faust, out. He doesn't usually do that, does he?
No, he does not.
It's interesting. Carter Van Syok and Adam Hauser and Philip Torres.
And Freidinger there.
And Freidinger, the 4 for Shippensburg. Mason Frampton, David Henke, Daniel Worthy, and Isaiah Kirshner for the Waynesboro Indians.
Looks like a member of the military might be tossing the coin here tonight, Rob. Nice honor.
Yep. Normally
like a sergeant.
Normally they do the coin toss before the game starts, and they just do the ceremonial one out at midfield, but they're going to toss it for real here tonight.
Now, this may be the last shirt sleeve game of the year, huh?
Well, JD and I have the shorts on. We'll see for next Thursday.
Oh, you'll have the shorts on at Thanksgiving.
That's true. But what a night, and what a view overlooking the mountains in the background here in Waynesboro. It's really pretty evening.
And it's cooled off. There's not a lot of humidity in the air. May have to take a swim tomorrow afternoon.
There you go. It's supposed to be in the 80s the rest of the week. Well, do it while you can.
Well, the tossing of the coin ceremony is still taking place.
They're explaining the heads and the tails, it looks like. They've been out there about 5 minutes now.
It wasn't part of our repertoire.
Okay. I can't imagine what they're talking about. But
well, now we're getting ready to toss the coin, and there it is. And it looks like Waynesboro may have won the coin toss. Let's see. Shippensburg's going to defend the right and goal to our right, and Waynesboro's going to defend the goal to our left.
Still no. Oh, here we go.
Waynesboro Indians have won the toss. They're going to receive, so Shippensburg will kick it off to get things started here tonight on SE Sportsnet.
I'm looking forward to this one, partner. Interesting game, traveling here to Waynesboro, and they need, as I mentioned earlier, 4 quarters of good offensive football.
Yeah, you are correct.
Let's see if they can accomplish that.
Sterling Shetter did most of the place kicking last week. We'll see if he tees the football off for Shippensburg tonight. And we'll see who drops back for the Indians. Beautiful field. Well manicured. It almost looks like it is a turf field, isn't it?
I believe it is.
So dropping back deep is Dalton Moen. But Quentin Gaskell and Guy Sullivan. Guy Sullivan stands at about his 10-yard line. And this is Eddie Ocker. Nope, check that. It's Shetter. As the football teed up at the 40. Glad to have you along on this Friday night. And it's a squib kick taken by one of the up Indians at about the 37-yard line. It goes through his wickets and is picked up by Mason Frampton, who at about the 35-yard line, and then he takes it back to the 39-yard line. Kyler Brown making the tackle. So here come the Indians, led by senior quarterback Isaiah Kirshner, who's a senior at 6 foot, 175 pounds. They send Adrian Campbell wide to the near side. In fact, they have a double slot formation as Kirshner on a double handoff behind the line of scrimmage, and here's a play thrown downfield to the intended receiver, Adrian Campbell. They toss the football into the hands of Mason Frampton behind the line of scrimmage, and a little alley-oop there that went awry. Christian Melendez on the coverage for Shippensburg, but the pass is incomplete.
Well, what a way to start the game offensively for the Indians as they do the double reverse, and then the running back throws it downfield and just thrown a little bit too far to the outside and an incomplete pass.
Ball's 20 yards in from the far sideline as the Indians move left to right. Kirshner from the gun hands the football off to Frampton, who tries to turn up the near corner, and he'll step out of bounds at the 45-yard line. But a penalty marker flies at the line of scrimmage. Eddie Ocker on the coverage for Shippensburg. It'll pick up 6 yards on the carry, but let's see what the penalty flag is about.
Looks like it's a hold.
It is a hold against the Indians. So a little help to allow Frampton to turn the corner will negate the 6-yard carry, and 10 yards will be walked off against the Indians. It'll put the football back inside the 30-yard line, back at the 29-yard line. No, yeah, just across the 30, where it'll be second down now and about 19.
Waynesboro in the first 2 offensive plays have put Mason Frampton in motion, and that time they gave him the ball. So let's see what they do here in second down and long.
Frampton is winged to the far side, and he comes in motion once again. Kirshner fakes a handoff and rolls to the far side of the formation, steps and throws long downfield, way overthrows Adrian Campbell out at about the Shippensburg 45-yard line. Latriglio on the coverage for the Hounds, but the pass is incomplete, and it's third down and 19 now.
Well, that was good coverage by Latriglio, and I don't know if that is why Kirshner threw it a little over the head of the receiver, because he realized that he wasn't open.
This time Alvarez comes to the near side. They put 2 slots to the far side of the formation where there are trips. And we've got a penalty marker and an illegal procedure call against Waynesboro, and 5 more yards are going to be walked off against the Indians. They're moving in the wrong direction.
They sure are. A little opening series jitters here by the Indians.
We played just 26 seconds, and the Indians are moving the wrong way, so it's now third down and about 23. Kirshner with the takeaway, rolls to the near sideline, throws downfield, and it's caught by Alvarez in Shippensburg territory. He reached over the defender, came down with the football, and the Indians convert down to the Shippensburg 38-yard line. Kyler Brown on the coverage, but Jay Alvarez, a 6'2" junior wide receiver, pulled that football down for the first down.
Plenty of protection for the quarterback, and that was a nice throw, and wasn't bad coverage by the Shippensburg secondary, but it was a nice throw and catch.
Swisher goes wide to the far side. This time they have Frampton wing to the near side. He comes in motion, and he gets the football from Kirshner and tries to turn up the near far sideline, and the penalty flags fly as Kirshner stopped just at the line of scrimmage by Shippensburg's Eddie Ocker. And let's see what this penalty marker is about.
2 flags down.
Illegal shift against Waynesboro. So that's going to be 5 more yards, and that's the third penalty in the early goings of this first quarter against Waynesboro. We haven't played a minute of football yet. Swisher wide to the near side. Frampton is wing to the far side of the formation. He's going to go in motion, fakes the handoff as they hand off straight ahead, this time to James Hoffman. And Hoffman will move the football back to the 20 or 37-yard line. Nicholas White's on the tackle. Picks up 6, second down and 9. This time under center is Kirshner with a double wing set up. And he hands the football to Drumstra, who gets a nice opening off of left tackle. And he gets the football down inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. He'll pick up 8 more yards where it'll be third down and 1. Nate's Miner on the stop. So the Indians, who couldn't get out of first gear on the first couple of plays, have a third down and 1 at the Shippensburg 29. Once again, a double wing with Dumstra, the lone setback, and Kirshner on the quarterback sneak is going to get the ball down close to that first down marker. They're going to move the chains. First down, Indians. James Monahan on the tackle. Nice surge by the Indian offensive line, Rob.
Well, and they've really done a good job offensively to start this game off, except for the penalties, but they're giving the Greyhound defense a lot of different looks.
Running room to the near side of the formation. Again, double wing setup. Dumstra the lone setback as Kirshner's under center, and Dumstra jukes off of left guard this time. He'll cross the 25 and get the football down close to the 21-yard line. Nads Miner on the stop. Let's give him a carry of 6, second down and 4.
Yeah, and they're not afraid to bring people in off the bench as they're using a lot of people here to run the ball in the first quarter.
This time 2 men in the backfield on either side of Kirshner with the takeaway. He hands the football off to his big running back, Mason Frampton, as a penalty marker flies, and Frampton will pick up the first down across the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Ethan Stauffer on the stop, but it looks like this is another penalty marker going against the Indians, holding, and that's going to cost him 10 yards. I'll tell you what, 5th penalty of the ball game for the Indians here in the first quarter, but they've moved the football very well.
They have 40 yards of penalties already.
Ball was walked back to the 29-yard line of Shippensburg, where it'll be second down and about 12. 4 wide receiver set, slot to either side. Kirshner says Frampton in motion. He fakes the handoff, and he's going to keep the football himself. He jukes to the outside on the far sideline, picks up the first down up the far side, down and out of bounds. Close to the 5-yard line goes Isaiah Kirshner, forced out of bounds by Naz Miner, but that's going to be a first and goal for the Indians as Kirshner stepped out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, that was a nice execution by the offense, and Kirshner showed a little speed that time. He got over the left tackle and almost went into the end zone.
Double wing formation once again for the Indians. Handoff goes to Frampton, and he's in for the touchdown, untouched. Mason Frampton from 9 yards out puts the Indians on the scoreboard.
Well, they made that one look easy. First and goal, and Frampton right up the middle, almost untouched, into the end zone.
8:42 left to go here in the first quarter. 5 penalties on that drive against the Indians, but it did not stop them. In to kick the extra point is George Souders out of the hold of Mason Frampton. And we've got movement, and I think Shippensburg crossed the line of scrimmage. We've got encroachment against the Greyhounds. Movement on the far side of the formation for Shippensburg. I think that was Christian Melendez.
It's Frampton's third touchdown, rushing touchdown this year.
So Souders will kick this one from the 9. Waiting for the snap out of the Frampton hole. Ball is down. Souders' kick is up. Souders' kick is good. 8:42 left to go first quarter. Waynesboro 7 and Shippensburg nothing.
Hey, insurance companies that want to spend a gazillion dollars on funny TV ads can go right ahead, as long as it's not my money paying for it. For seriously good auto, home, business, or life insurance, I go to Erie Insurance, where a great price is just the start. You get unbelievable service, independent agents you can really trust, and superior products. But don't just take it from me. Talk to your local Erie agent.
Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
9 plays and 61 yards with 5 penalties. And the Indians have a 7-0 lead on the first possession of this football game.
Yeah, they made that look pretty easily, their partner.
Yeah, they sure did. Shippensburg defense was back on their heels that entire series. When they picked up yardage, they picked up big chunks of yardage.
Sure did. Both on the ground and in the air.
Alex Sharrow drops back for Shippensburg, awaiting the Souders kickoff. Shippensburg needs to come right back here on this possession. But I think the Indians came to play here tonight, partner.
Yeah, I believe you're correct.
There's the whistle. And Souders approaches the ball. High end over end kick. It's going to be taken at the 11-yard line by one of the up men for Shippensburg. I believe that is Christian Melendez. And Melendez returns the football out back to the 28-yard line. A nice return. Mason Frampton making the stop, and Melendez on a nice return. Shippensburg will go to work 1st and 10 for the first time tonight at their own 28-yard line.
So Mason Frampton scored the first touchdown, held for the extra point, and just made the tackle on the kickoff.
One of those 4 names we're going to say a lot tonight for the Indians. So here come the Hounds with Nick Gustafson coming wide to the near side. They have running room to the near side as they move right to left. From the gun, Carter Van Syok hands the ball off to Hauser, and he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Coming up to make the stop was Lakin Rouser for a loss of almost 7 yards in the play. 2nd down and 17, and you don't see that very often out of Adam Hauser.
No, Rouser was in the backfield about as quickly as Hauser got the handoff.
This time Freidinger to the far side. Gustafson to the near side. Backs are split. Torres and Hauser in the backfield. Gustafson under center. Steps and throws and makes the completion out at the 24-yard line. Making the catch was Kyler Brown. It's going to pick up about 3 yards. Tom Drumstrom making the stop, and it's 3rd down and about 14.
Well, looks like so far just 2 plays in, Scott, but the Waynesboro defense is flying all over the field just like their offense did.
7:25 left to go first quarter. This time's backs are split on either side of Carter Van Zyl. The senior quarterback wants to throw, looking, gets away from some pressure. Now he's going to have to scramble with the football, puts his head down, and gets the ball back to the line of scrimmage and no further. He was met in there by Tom Drumsta and Alex Diaz. A lot of pressure. Shippensburg offensive line struggled on that series, and it's 4th down and long for the Hounds.
And Van Zyl had a little bit of time, not much, to look downfield and couldn't find anybody open. So that's a good defense. Now
They've got a penalty marker. We've got a crackback block against the Hounds, which is going to be refused, and it's going to be 4th down for the Greyhounds. And the punting unit is on for Shippensburg.
Well, that's not exactly how we wanted to do it. The first offensive series by Shippensburg is Hauser was thrown for a loss and 1st down, and they never did recover on down 2nd and 2 and 3.
Twin safeties for the Indians back at their 38-yard line, awaiting the Eddie Ocker kick. End over end kick. It's taken by one of the up men. That's Frampton. On the run, he crosses the 40 and is hit hard as he gets to the 42-yard line by Kane Freidinger for Shippensburg. So great field position for the Indians at their own 42-yard line. Second possession of the quarter for Waynesboro. 6:44 left to go. They lead at 7-0. Four wide receivers set, slot to either side of the field as they move left to right. Kirshner from the gun, fakes the handoff to Frampton. He's going to run the football, and he's got lots of running room up the far side. Midfield, he crosses down across the 45. Move the chains for the Indians down to the Shippensburg 43-yard line. Eddie Ocker finally making the tackle, but the Shippensburg defense really back on their heels as Kirshner showed some great speed up the far side.
They had 3 down linemen, and then they had about 5 guys in linebacker position, but they could not stop that first down run.
This time the backs are split as Kirshner will work from the gun. He hands the football off to Frampton, who finds running room and puts his head down, and he'll move the chains one more time down to the Shippensburg 30-yard line. Christian Melendez makes the stop. But the Indians are really moving the football in the Shippensburg D here in this first quarter.
Frampton listed at 5'8", 185. Now we have a timeout called by Shippensburg.
7-0 Indians over the Greyhounds. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg is the place. Delicious breakfast selections, and for lunch and dinner, create your own sandwiches, hoagies, wraps, or salads. 3 hot soups as well as a hot meal special are available every day. Plus, Kathy's fresh baked goods and delicious dessert specials are the best. Voted #1 since 2004. Enjoy wonderful hometown atmosphere, delicious food, and friendly service at Kathy's Deli, West King Street, Shippensburg. Your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner should be at Kathy's Deli. Well, I'm not sure any of us expected this to be happening this early in this ball game, Rob.
Now they're just physically overmatched right now by this Waynesboro offense. And Frampton, I started to say, 5'8", 185. He looks taller and bigger than 185, and he's just running over people right now.
Alvarez goes wide to the far side. The slot sets to the near side, and there's running room to the far side as Kirshner will work from the gun. He hands off this time to Tom Drumsta. And Drumsta bounces off of one of his own men, but then crosses the 30 and gets the ball down to the 29-yard line. He'll pick up just a yard. Ethan Stauffer makes the tackle. 2nd down and 9. Smallest gain of the evening so far by the Indians.
There was a little bit of a collision in the backfield there by Waynesboro that time, and didn't get the running back moving like he wanted to.
Running room to the far side of the formation. Frampton wings himself to the near side. Drumsta is the lone setback as Frampton goes in motion, and he'll get the handoff and try to turn it up the far side. He gets a great block, steps inside, crosses the 20, still on his feet down inside the 5-yard line. Goes Mason Frampton for the Indians. Just juking and dodging, some great blocking. Makes it 1st and goal for the Indians at the 8-yard line of Shippensburg. Eddie Ocker finally making the tackle.
Ethan Saunders made that nice block for Waynesboro.
1st and goal for the Indians. Looking to score a second time here in the quarter. Under center is Kirshner. And the handoff goes to Drumsta, who slides off of right guard, and his knee goes down at about the 6-yard line. So he'll pick up 3. It'll be 2nd and goal. Zach Hutchinson on the tackle for the Hounds.
It's a nice tackle by Hutchison. He grabbed the ankle of the running back and tripped him up before he could get a full head of steam going.
Alvarez wide to the far side, and Swisher wide to the near. Drumsta in the backfield. And now we've got a whistle as Kirshner stepped across the line of scrimmage to pick up something. And now I'm not sure what was going on there. The official stepped in and did it. Now we're set to go again. Kirshner with the takeaway, hands the football off to Frampton, who tries to turn it up the near side, and he's going to be forced out of bounds, maybe behind the line of scrimmage. It looks like maybe back at about the 8-yard line. Eddie Ocker making a nice tackle, and Austin Kozier was also there. But he'll lose a couple, and it'll be 3rd down now. And we've got another penalty marker against the Indians as the ball's being walked out across the 15 out to the 16-yard line, and another holding call. Well, they can throw that yellow flag all night, and it doesn't seem to affect the Indians' offense at all.
That's the 3rd holding penalty in this quarter.
So it's 2nd and goal at the 16. 20 yards in from the near side. Campbell goes to the far side. Swisher to the near. Frampton the lone setback with a double wing. Frampton gets the call. Slides off of right tackle into the arms of Zach Hutchinson, who had a hard time pulling him down, but he finally does at the 15-yard line. Well, we'll say the 14 now, as that's where he says his forward progress was. So we'll pick up a couple, and it'll be 3rd down and goal now from the 14.
Hate to say this is the key play here in the first quarter, but it certainly is that they can't afford to allow Waynesboro to score another touchdown.
Frampton the lone setback. Fake to him, rolls to the far sideline, throws in and out of the hands of the receiver at the 5-yard line. And that was Mason Frampton. He came across nicely on the field. The ball was slightly thrown behind him. He couldn't hang on, and it's 4th down. Souders has yet to attempt a field goal in the season. And he's in there, so it looks like they're going to attempt a field goal here.
Yep.
Ball is at the 14-yard line. Tee's going to be placed down at the 21, yep. So a 31-yard attempt with an angle from right to left. First field goal attempt of the season. Ball is down. Frampton puts it down, and it's going to be short and to the left. So a touchback, and the Hounds will get the football back at the 20-yard line with 3:21 left to go in the quarter, and the Greyhounds dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, one of the Greyhounds got their arm up. I think that was deflected slightly, but the way it came off the foot, it looked like it wasn't going to be any good anyhow. So that's a big stop, and Shippensburg needs to get this offense going.
Here come the Hounds for the 2nd time in the quarter. 2 blacks, Torres and Hauser in the backfield. This is Adam Hauser, who jukes and dodges out across the 30-yard line, and he'll have it close to move those chains for 1st down, and he signals 1st down. And we've got an injured Indian back behind the line of scrimmage. Frampton on the tackle. The 2nd carry of the ball game for Hauser, and that picks up a 1st down for the Greyhounds. 3:15 left to go here in the quarter.
Can't see the number of the Waynesboro player down.
These gold numbers on these blue uniforms are really hard to pick up. We've said that before over here. I don't know, with this warmer weather, maybe it's just a little bit of a cramp.
Yeah.
Looks like they're trying to work out a cramp on the injured player who's laying down on his back at about the 9-yard line of Shippensburg. But Hauser with a nice run on his second carry of the evening, picking up 11 yards. And that's number 50, I believe.
Daniel Worthy.
And he's walking off.
Well, it's been humid for about a week. So a little sticky down there in the field, I'm sure.
No, it was in the low 80s when we pulled into the parking lot here. It's cooled off a little bit. Nice evening for a sports activity or anything else you might be doing on this weekend. 1st and 10 for Shippensburg now at their own 31. There's Hauser and Torres in the backfield as Carter Van Syx under center. And they give the football off to Adam Hauser, and he is spun down by Frampton back at the 25-yard line of Shippensburg. Second time tonight, Frampton's found it in the backfield to be able to stop Adam Hauser for a loss. And that's a loss of 6 yards, so it'll be 2nd down and 16.
Yeah, that's some bad offensive line work there because you got to give a little bit of protection. Hauser didn't need a whole lot of room, but he didn't get any help at all that time.
Van Syx working under center with the back split. And we've got movement up front. And a whistle. Offsides against the Indians. That'll move the ball out to the 30-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and about 11 now for Shippensburg.
Our great statistician and helper J.D. Davidson's going to need a new pen if he's writing down all these penalties with one pen, because there's been a ton of them here in the first quarter.
Fridinger to the far side, Gustafson to the near. Under center is Van Syx. Steps back, quick throw, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. And that was Tom Drumsta, who has been a busy fella for the defense of the Indians here. Van Syx not a small kid, but Drumsta got up in the air to bat that one down, so it'll be 3rd down and 11.
It listed at 5'10", 185, but Van Syx had no chance to complete that pass.
Hounds need a conversion here. 2:03 left to go in the quarter. They trail 7-0. This time, Alex Hickman goes wide to the far side. They put a double slot to that side. Fridinger to the near. From the gun, Van Syx steps and swings it out to Adam Hauser up the far side. Hauser gets one block, but he is forced out of bounds at the 30-yard line for no gain by Frampton. And the Hounds are going to be forced to punt for the 2nd time here in the quarter.
Well, that screen pass was thrown a little bit behind Hauser, but I don't think it would have made much of a difference because Frampton was right there waiting for him.
Ocker set to punt. Frampton, along with Quentin Gaskell in twin safety at about their 40. They're going to get good field position one more time. Hounds have picked up just 1 first down so far in this ball game. There's an end-over-end kick taken by Frampton at the 45, on the move, 50, 45, and down to the 40-yard line goes the Indian return man. Ethan Stauffer met him at the 40, but a nice return, and the Indians had the ball at the Shippensburg 40-yard line.
Well, Eddie Ocker, end-over-end punting, which he usually does, but Frampton had a full head of steam and running up and catching that ball, and lucky he didn't go the whole way for a touchdown. Got to keep it away from that guy if you can.
Ball 20 yards in from the far sideline. Swisher comes to the near. This time the backs are split. Frampton and Drumsta. As Kirshner's under center. 1st and 10. He fakes a handoff and is going to run with the football himself. Tries to turn it up the far side and is hit at the line of scrimmage by the Greyhounds and stopped for no gain. Adam Hauser on the tackle. Second down and 10 for the Indians. Clock running, 1:25 left to go in the quarter. Waynesboro over Shippensburg 7-0. They scored on the initial drive of the football game. Slot to either side this time as Kirshner works in the gun. He send Frampton in motion, and he gets the handoff. Turns it up the near side. Frampton gets through one tackler. Turns those legs down across the 35 and down to the 32-yard line. Ethan Stauffer making the tackle. But that's another nice run by Frampton, picking up 8 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
They have no answer for Frampton here in the first quarter. None at all.
Definitely not. Alvarez to the near. Swisher to the far side where they set up a slot. Frampton and Drumsta split on either side of Kirshner from the gun. And this is Frampton. And Frampton puts his head down off of left guard, and he's going to move the chains as he crosses the 30 and gets down to the 29-yard line. Colby Tracy credited with the tackle. But the Indians on the move with 32 seconds left to go in the quarter.
Yeah, he has some speed whenever he gets into the open, and he just is a very powerful runner inside also.
Dominating first quarter by Waynesboro from the start. Kirshner looks over the defense, barking signals. Hands the football off to Drumsta that time. And he hits into the center of the line and maybe gets a yard down to the 29-yard line. That's going to be the last play of the quarter. Noah Faust making the stop for Shippensburg. But one's in the books at Waynesboro. And it's the Indians 7, the Greyhounds nothing.
Your complete quality satisfaction is unconditionally guaranteed. That's the backbone that New Life Painting of Shippensburg has built their business on since 1998. New Life Painting has been providing Central Pennsylvania residential and commercial painting at its best. Keith and Chris Carroll welcome the opportunity to discuss your next painting project with a free on-the-spot estimate, and your satisfaction is the center of their quality work. Give them a call at 423-5577, and you'll soon learn what satisfaction and guaranteed is all about.
Huge opening first quarter, huge by the Waynesboro Indians. They completely dominated the Greyhounds as Shippensburg only managed to pick up 1 first down on their 2 possessions, and the Indians are on the move here as we begin the second quarter with Rob Ebersol.
Thank you, Scott, and it's a minor miracle that it's only 7-0 because it could be easily 21-0. But Waynesboro, if they've done anything wrong, that's committed some bad penalties, especially holding penalties. That's the only thing that's slowing down their offense. So 2nd down and 9. And Kirshner from the shotgun, and his 2 running backs right beside him. And this is Frampton. Frampton cuts up the middle of the field, and Frampton's going to have the first down and more inside the 20-yard line of Shippensburg. Another nice run by Frampton. Christian Bortz on the stop, but 11 yards and another first down for the Indians.
Yeah, the Greyhounds have, I think, only stopped Frampton once for a yard or less. Everything else has been really down the football field.
So Kirshner under center on the first down call. And in motion, the running back, that is Travis Bender. And Bender gets a couple of yards before Naz Minor brings him down. Make that Quentin Gaskell on the run, the junior running back. Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Well, we've seen great performances running the football by the Indians in the first quarter. They came right out firing the football as well.
Yeah. A couple long pass completions. 2nd down from the gun. And this is Frampton. Frampton over the right side, inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line of Shippensburg. That'll be 3rd down. Christian Bortz on another tackle. 3rd down and 4. They're going to mark it at the Shippensburg 11-yard line.
Well, the Indians have had very manageable 3rd down calls in this ball game so far, Rob. Here's another one facing them, just 3rd down and 4. The Hounds defense is back on their heels. The offensive line by the Indians doing a great job.
Kirshner under center. Long count. And this is Drumsta. And Drumsta puts his head down and see where they mark the ball. It's going to be close to the first down. Eddie Ocker, another tackle. And timeout, we might have a measurement here. Or they're calling it fourth down, but let's see.
After they move the ball again. I just love that. I just love it.
So now they are going to measure.
They are in such a hurry to keep the ball game moving that they lose sight of what's going on with the ball.
What my partner is saying is they moved it ahead, so it should be a first down, correct?
Yeah, well,
it looked like it.
Absolutely. And then they move the ball back to put it on the spot. And how do you know you're putting it down on the right spot? and it's short.
Okay. Less than a yard. Clock stopped. 10:09 remaining until the half. Shippensburg already trailing 7-0.
Third time that the Indians have had the football inside the Shippensburg red zone.
So the clock starts again. And the Indians break the huddle. Going to have Drumsta and Frampton to the right side, and Frampton in motion. And
there's got some movement on the Indian line, I believe, that time.
Flag. It's the offense is clapping, but I do believe that's in the illegal procedure. Let's see. They put Frampton in motion again. And here's the call. Offside, Shippensburg. First and goal to go for Waynesboro.
Third time tonight that the Indians have had the ball goal to go. And we played just a quarter and a couple minutes.
First and goal at the 4. From the gun this time is Isaiah Kirshner, the senior quarterback. And he'll take it himself, untouched into the end zone. Fake the handoff to Frampton, and he scurries 4 yards, and Waynesboro is up 13-0. Well, that was nice ball movement by the quarterback, Kirshner. Nice fake handoff and into the end zone for the 4-yard run.
Well, we mentioned it early in the first quarter, Rob. I think you mentioned it, is that just so many offensive weapons, and they've thrown just about everything at the Greyhounds here in this ball game so far.
George Souders will attempt the extra point. Kick is up. Kick is good. 9:30 remaining until halftime. 14-0 Waynesboro.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Well, 9 plays, 40 yards. Kirshner with the 4-yard run. And it's 14-0. So they'll receive the kickoff. And it is Alex Sharrow back, the sophomore, awaiting the George Souders kickoff. A little stunned there, partner.
Yeah, I am as well.
How can Waynesboro be 1-2?
Playing like they've played here in this ball game so far.
High, short end over end kick. Sherrow at his own 20-yard line. Sherrow up over the 30 to the 32 or 33, so decent field position for the Greyhounds to start this possession. Lakin Rouser on the stop. So Sherrow took advantage of the short kickoff. And the Greyhounds will have the 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
This will be the 3rd possession for the Hounds, and they've picked up just 1 first down in the ballgame.
Torres and Hauser split behind Van Syok. And this is Torres. Torres with a quick hitter right up the gut. Nice gain before he's brought down by Hunter Seiss. Give him a gain of about 7. It'll be 2nd down and 3. That's that quick hitter that Shippensburg likes to run, and it was successful that time.
Yeah, that's what they're going to have to do to stop some of this pressure.
They're going to do it again, and this time Torres fights forward to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down and short. Seth Dick makes the stop. So 3rd down, and Shippensburg again to hurry up offense to get to the line of scrimmage. Van Syok under center, quarterback keeper, and he's, I don't know. He now got it in 2nd and 3rd effort. He was pushed back, and nobody called the whistle, and Van Syok fell forward for the 1st down. Hunter Seiss on the stop again. I thought he was stopped, didn't you?
Thank goodness there wasn't a quick whistle on that one, or they would not have been able to pick up the 1st down.
Wow. A good 2nd and 3rd effort by Carter Van Syok, and it's 1st and 10 Shippensburg at the 44-yard line.
Well, some nice work by the offensive line as well, Rob, to keep pushing against the Indian defense.
Hauser the lone setback.
Throw that ball downfield. Let's open this thing up.
Van Syok throws down the middle of the field. It is incomplete. Intended for Nick Gustafson, but a little flown behind him a little bit. Mason Frampton on the coverage. Incomplete pass. 2nd down 10 for the Greyhounds. Well, good call there, partner. That's what they need to do. Those quick passes, but Gustafson could have made that catch, but it was not quite thrown to him. He'll flank to the far side, and Frodinger to the near side. Back. And this is Torres, excuse me. Torres into the secondary. He's going to have the 1st down and more inside Waynesboro territory. Nice run by Philip Torres. Mason Frampton finally brings him down, but it'll be 1st down Shippensburg at the 39-yard line of Waynesboro.
Credit the great blocking by the Shippensburg offensive line on the left side that allowed Torres to pick up that 1st down.
And this is Torres again, and nothing doing that time as Daniel Worthy came in, beat his blocker, and Torres dropped for a 3-yard loss. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, and that's just exactly what he did. He beat his blocker big time and was in the backfield at about the time that Van Syok handed off the football.
Hickman in the ball game is an extra wide receiver. Hauser the lone setback, and Van Syok from the shotgun. 2nd down and long. Back to pass. Has some time. Throws down the middle of field. Frodinger cut inside, and he threw to the outside. Incomplete pass. 3rd down and long.
It looked like that ball may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage as well, Rob, because it was well short.
Adam Wirtz on the coverage. So maybe that's what caused the disruption, but it looked like Frodinger was going one way and the ball was thrown the other. So 3rd down and long, and a big 3rd down here. Shippensburg needs to convert to keep the offense on the field.
Comes the pressure.
Van Syok gets past one person, gets past a 2nd person, gets past a 3rd person, but not anymore. And that's our man Mason Frampton. As Van Syok ran for his life, Daniel Toney also, and he broke at least 3 tackles before it brought down by Frampton.
And he stepped out of a Frampton tackle at least twice before Frampton finally brought him down.
There's going to be a holding call against Shippensburg is going to be declined.
And once again, Shippensburg unable to convert on 3rd down and long.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive, and then they stall. So Ocker will punt it away to Frampton. high kick. Frampton's going to let it bounce, and it's going to go into the end zone. Nice bounce for Shippensburg, and Waynesboro will start first and 10 at the 20-yard line. 6:59 remaining here until half.
Well, this is the deepest they've started a drive in the ball game so far. They've scored on a 61-yard drive and on a 40-yard drive, and lead it 14-0 with 6:59 left to go here in the first half. Surprisingly, the Indians leading Shippensburg. We thought it'd be a good ball game tonight, but the Indians have really dominated. The Shippensburg offense has not been able to get on track at all.
Give the credit to the defense, obviously, is this Mason Frampton has been all over the field. They're blitzing on the right situations and really kept this Shippensburg offense off guard. So Kirshner from the gun on first down, and this is our friend Frampton. Frampton over the left side. He'll gain about 4 yards before Nicholas Weiss makes the stop. So gain of 4, second down and 6. Naz Minor also in on the stop. Ball marked at the 34-yard line.
Boy, he's had a nice first half on both sides of the ball, quite honestly.
Kirshner looks over the Shippensburg defense. And this is a fake. Kirshner's going to run it. Kirshner puts his head down, fights over the 30-yard line. That'll be close to the first down. Christian Bortz on another stop for the Greyhounds, but that's going to move the chains as the senior quarterback gets the first down. Ball marked at the 31-yard line. So it's a tough offense to figure out with Frampton and Drumsta and the quarterback.
And they run the double wing very well.
And there's a ball. Is it loose? And let's see what happens. A fumble, and Shippensburg has the recovery. Recovered by Ethan Stauffer. And I don't know if that was Drumsta or Frampton with the handoff, but it popped out, and Shippensburg just got what the doctor ordered. That is something to hopefully change the momentum in this game.
Yep, Hounds now need to take advantage of the turnover here, as they had the football deep in Indian territory at the 31.
So Freidinger to the near side and Gustafson to the far side. Van Syok, and there's going to be a whistle. A defender jumped over the line of scrimmage, and I believe that's going to be an offsides. That was Tom Drumsta. Moved early, so that'll be first down and 5 for the Greyhounds.
Well, you know, last week Bermudian Springs put a lot of pressure on the Greyhounds. And Waynesboro must have looked at some tape, because they're doing the same thing here tonight against this Shippensburg offensive line.
That's a very good observation. And fortunately for the Greyhounds, in the third quarter, they made some of their own adjustments, came back to win the ball game. First and 5. This is Van Syok. He steps up into the pocket, throws downfield. It's almost intercepted by Quentin Gaskill. And that was very good defense and not a good throw by Gustafson was the intended receiver, but Van Syok not a good throw there on first down.
He actually threw that into triple coverage, Rob.
Clock stop, 5:55. Second down and 5. Movement. And whistles, and I think that's going to be another offsides.
Boy, they just feel they can get the advantage on the Shippensburg offensive line. They are really right on top of the snap. Every now and then they get caught. But that's going to move the chains for Shippensburg on the penalty and give them a first down.
There's some big dudes, too. Nasir Mowdy, 6'2", 280. David Henke, 6'2", 240. Xavier Rhine, 5'10", 240, and a timeout called, and we'll be right back.
Premier Events West Orange Street in Shippensburg is the place to go for excellent upscale food and service in the Shippensburg area. Premier Events is a premier banquet and special events facility that offers catering for all occasions in their beautiful chandelier-lit banquet room. All their delicious food is freshly prepared and can be served on or off-site at your chosen location. Call them today at 532-2279 to book your party and let your next event be a premier event.
First and 10 Greyhounds after the Waynesboro timeout. Van Syok on first down is going to throw in the middle of the field. It is complete for a short gain. Frampton makes the tackle. And was that Stauffer? Yes, it was. Ethan Stauffer on the reception. Gain of 6, second down and 4. So that's had some success with that pass in the first 3 games. Van Syok finding Stauffer in the middle of the field. Now he'll take a seat.
Kyler Brown comes into the lineup for the Hounds.
Ball marked at the 15-yard line. Van Syok, and this is Hauser. Hauser tries to break a tackle, and he falls forward for maybe a 2-yard gain. That was Frampton on the stop for the Indians. It'll be marked at the 13. Third down and 2. We could almost just say that every time. Tackled by Frampton, and he has just been all over the place. So third down and short for the Greyhounds. They desperately need a score here.
He had 45 tackles coming into the game tonight, Rob.
Van Syok rolls left, throws out to Adam Hauser, and Hauser is going to be incomplete. Fourth down and 2. I don't know if Hauser slipped. The ball was not thrown exactly to him. Lakin Rouser on the stop, but he slipped, couldn't make the catch, and it's fourth down and 2.
And Carter Van Syok has not had a stellar first half either, Rob. He's just been a little out of sync with his passes, throwing behind his receivers. And the Hounds are going to go for it here in fourth down.
Hauser and Torres in the backfield with Van Syok. Back to pass. Van Syok scrambles, and Van Syok's going to run into the corner of the end zone. Van Syok, touchdown, Shippensburg. Carter Van Syok felt the pressure coming and decided to put the ball down and run with it, and he scores the first points of the game for the Greyhounds.
That time the aggressiveness of Mason Frampton cost him 6 points because Frampton just ran past Carter Van Syok, and that allowed the far side of the field to open up for Van Syok, and he was able to scamper in for the score.
So a big touchdown for the Greyhounds as they're back in this game, trailing 14-6. And the kick is up, and the kick is good by Sterling Shetter. 14-7. We'll be right back.
Every day, the Shippensburg News Chronicle makes it their business to cover the local news, from breaking news to features, from local government to sports. The News Chronicle lives and breathes Shippensburg. In today's fast-paced world, there are many ways to stay informed and connected with the News Chronicle. The print edition, or the online website subscription, or the easy-to-read e-edition. To subscribe and select what fits your lifestyle, visit shipnc.com. Since 1844, the News Chronicle has been reporting on the people and the news of the Shippensburg area. Keep in touch today at shipnc.com, the Shippensburg News Chronicle.
5-play, 31-yard scoring drive for the Greyhounds. 13-yard run by Carter Van Syok. And so the Greyhounds back in the ball game, 14-7. And this is interesting. Both of the Auker is in, as is Shetter. So let's see which one of them kicks it off. And it's going to be Shetter. Short kick, and it's dropped by Drumsta, and Drumsta tries to get around the corner. He does, and Drumsta down the middle of the field now. He's still on his feet. And that could have been disastrous for Waynesboro. Blake Rhodes finally brings him down, but Drumsta recovered the ball, and it was a nice run. And we have a penalty flag.
in and out of Drumsta's hands and also in and out of the hands of Frampton. Drumsta then picked it up. And we've got a holding call against Waynesboro and was able to turn it up the near side with some nice blocking, but that could have been disastrous for the Indians.
That was a crazy play. Yes, it could have been. Drumsta running around there. Finally made some progress, but the ball is going to be marked back to the 29-yard line after the hold. The fourth or fifth holding penalty for Waynesboro in the first half. Kirshner with Frampton, the lone setback. That's Drumsta, and Drumsta, the handoff faked, and Kirshner has it. Kirshner fights to get back to the line of scrimmage. Good defense by Shippensburg. Zach Hutchison leads away for the Greyhounds. They'll give him one. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
One of the rare times in this first half that the Hounds have held the Indians to a yard or less.
So no Frampton in the lineup that time on 1st down. He's back in there now. 2nd and long. Kirshner from the gun. Frampton over the right side, and Frampton is, and the ball is on the ground again. And no signal yet. Still no signal. Shippensburg. So Frampton puts the ball on the ground, and Naz Minor comes up with it. Took a while for the officials to call the fumble, but the second turnover for Waynesboro, and Shippensburg back in business with about 3 1/4 left here in the half.
And Drumsta was slow to get up off the bottom of that pile, Rob. He finally did, but he's bent over back at his safety position. He's a hurting football player at the moment, but he stays in the ball game. Oh, I throw this ball right down the field, see if we can get right back in this.
Hauser the lone setback. Van Syok under center. And he'll throw the ball. This is Freidinger. Freidinger, he'll have a 1st down inside the 20-yard line. And a nice pass, a nice catch. Lakin Rouser brings him down, but Freidinger with a little bit of a slant pattern from the left side, and it's 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line of Waynesboro.
Positioned himself right inside the defender, and a nicely thrown pass by Carter Van Syok.
1st and 10. Van Syok, same thing. The right side, and Freidinger this time fights forward to about the 15, maybe the 14-yard line. Damian Swisher on the stop. But 2 passes in a row to Freidinger. And we'll give him 6, 2nd down and 4.
They're trying to get the coverage to loosen up a little bit, throwing it on a slant pattern on either side of the formation. Make those defensive backs step back a little bit, throw beneath the coverage.
Hauser over the left side, and Hauser fights forward. That may be enough for the 1st down. No signal yet. Trenton Shetler on the stop for the Indians. And it is going to be 1st down and goal to goal for the Greyhounds. Well, if they can get in here, Scott, and tie this up, and I believe they get the ball first in the second half.
You are exactly correct, partner. What a turnaround here if they can put the ball in the end zone on this possession.
3 wide receivers to the far side. Hauser the lone setback. 1st and goal. Van Syok throws the ball into the end zone for Freidinger, a little bit too far, and it'll be an incomplete pass, double coverage. Frampton is over there, as is Carson McGregor, but a little bit too far for Freidinger. It's 2nd down and 10.
That's such a difficult pass to complete, Rob. Timing all the way, and just overthrew the outstretched hands of Freidinger in the near corner of the end zone.
Freidinger had a step on the double coverage. So Torres back in the game and 2nd down, and this is Hauser over the right side, and Hauser maybe a yard or 2. Bring up a 3rd down and long. That was Mason Frampton again. And it'll be 3rd down for the Greyhounds. And the ball is at the 8-yard line. Hauser split to the far side this time. Torres lone setback, and this is Hauser the pitch, and Hauser short of the first down. What happened there? Ball, Mason Frampton, another tackle. I heard the crowd groan a little bit, but obviously well short of the touchdown, and it'll be 4th down, and Hauser limping to the sideline. So I guess they're going to go for it here on 4th down, Scott.
Looks that way.
They're
going to run the clock down here? I guess so. Before they call timeout. Van Syok on the far side of the field with the coaching staff.
Down to 47 seconds. I don't know. Would you kick the field goal here, make it 14-10?
Well, you know how I feel about that. Put the points on the board when you have an opportunity if you can.
I believe Shetter has tried one here, but I don't know. 14-10, you get the ball back. Who knows? We'll see what happens after this timeout. We're going to keep it here. Next week, Thursday night football on SE Sportsnet. Riverdale, New Jersey comes in for a 6 o'clock start. Should be an interesting clash. And looking forward to broadcasting that for everyone. We'll be on the air about 5:45. The Shippensburg offense still huddling over the far side. No indication. I do not see Shetter, I don't believe. Alex Sherrow's out there offensively, and they are going to go for it. 4th down and goal from the 7. 4 wide receivers. From the gun is Van Syok. And a whistle. Timeout, Waynesboro.
So Waynesboro saw what they were setting up to do offensively, and now they take a timeout. Each team with 1 left here with 35 ticks left in the quarter. 14-7. The Indians dominating the first quarter play. Shippensburg picking up a score here in the second quarter. And knocking on the door with a 4th and goal at the 7-yard line. Coming out of this Waynesboro timeout. Nice crowd as we look across the way from Shippensburg tonight on this homecoming at Waynesboro.
Waynesboro committing a ton of penalties in the first half and 2 costly fumbles that allowed Shippensburg to get back in this ball game.
Shippensburg converted on the first fumble and looking to take advantage of the second fumble right here on this 4th down if they can put the ball into the end zone.
Hauser was out in the field, and now he's on the sideline. So here we go. It's like 4 receivers again. Torres alone setback. At the pass is Van Syok. He rolls right, avoids 1 tackler, throws into the end zone, and Gustafson was open and he couldn't make the reception. The ball thrown a little bit behind him, but that could have been caught.
Yeah, not a well-thrown ball, though, Rob. Yeah, he should have caught that ball. He had to turn around to be able to do it, but it was thrown really hard and just not an easy pass to be able to catch. So the Indians do a great job on denying Shippensburg on the 4th down, and they'll take over possession at their own 7-yard line.
28 seconds remaining. I can't imagine Waynesboro trying anything too fancy here. Should be happy going into the locker room up by 7. And they're going to have Kirshner take the knee, and that will be the end of the first half. Entertaining first half. And I believe that's going to be it, right? Yep. So it's 14-7, Waynesboro. Crazy, crazy first half. And we'll be back to talk about it after these timeouts.
Timmons Oil Incorporated of Orrstown has been proudly serving the local area for over 35 years with quality fuel oil, diesel fuel, and kerosene products at reasonable prices. The Timmons folks invite you to call now and arrange convenient fuel oil delivery for the upcoming heating season. Call Timmons Oil at 532-3740. That's 532-3740. Or stop in and say hello at 12901 Mountain Road in Orrstown. The Timmons family encourages all drivers to exercise extra caution on the roads now that the kids are back in school. Parents, remember to take the time to become involved in your children's school activities. And this fall and always, save a life. Please don't drink and drive. Remember, for extra convenient fuel oil delivery this winter, call Timmons Oil of Orrstown now at 532-3740. That's Timmons Oil at 532-3740. The Timmons family is proud to be part of our Cumberland and Franklin County communities. And go Greyhounds!
For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg is the place. Delicious breakfast selections. And for lunch and dinner, create your own sandwiches, hoagies, wraps, or salads. 3 hot soups as well as a hot meal special are available every day. Plus, Kathy's fresh baked goods and delicious dessert specials are the best. Voted #1 since 2004. Enjoy wonderful hometown atmosphere, delicious food, and friendly service at Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg. Your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner should be at Kathy's Deli.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Halftime at Waynesboro, and the Indians lead the Greyhounds by a score of 14-7. And Rob, I'm not sure that that score is at all reflective of what happened in this first half.
No, not at all. It looked like it was going to be a blowout in the first quarter. That Waynesboro just totally dominated offensively and somehow could only score. They scored 7 points in the first and 7 in the second, but I really thought that Shippensburg was going to get this game handed to them, but a lot of breaks, a lot of penalties that we've already mentioned, and Shippensburg down by 7 and had a chance to cut the lead even more, but couldn't convert at the end of the half.
Yeah, Shippensburg took advantage of the first Indian fumble and scored on that, but could not find Shippensburg could not find the end zone on the second fumble as they had a 4th down and 8 situation and could not make the reception in the end zone, and that's how we have a 14-7 score here at halftime.
That would have been about a 24-yard field goal, probably around in there, 24-25 yard, but Coach Faust decides to go for it. As we mentioned, Shetter has not attempted a field goal, but you got to give him some chances every once in a while because you never know when it's going to become an important field goal attempt.
Yeah, that is true. The first quarter was completely dominated by the Indians. Shippensburg had the football twice and only managed to pick up 1 first down. And the Indians came right back in the second quarter as well, but because they put the ball on the ground twice, they kind of opened the door a little bit for Shippensburg.
Yeah, and you just mentioned there at the end of the half, Carter Van Syok not exactly at his best here. We'll see what his stats are when JD joins us in a little bit, but having a lot of some pressure on him, so that has something to do with it. But he was off, threw behind a couple receivers and had Gustafson open in the end zone, and that could have been a score. But then again, Carter's been running for his life once again, and that doesn't help matters. Adam Hauser, who we're all waiting for another big game, is not done anything offensively, and he's been hobbling a little bit on the sidelines too. So we'll see what his status is to start the third quarter. But obviously, that's a big cog in this offense, and without that, it puts more pressure on the passing game.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the Indians were extremely aggressive defensively, too, in the first half.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And this Mason Frampton is just all world. He has scored a touchdown and I don't know how many tackles he had in the first half, but just all over the field. And some other players, too, Drumsta and Gaskill. So they have a very fast defense, and, they gave the Shippensburg offense fits in the first half. So it is homecoming, and I wish somebody would have told me because I'm vastly underdressed for the homecoming celebration. So that will be announced here shortly. There's five candidates, so a little extra long halftime for everybody here tonight.
And checking some scores here at halftime, Rob, we don't have anybody reporting in on any of the Colonial Division contests. West Perry's at Greencastle tonight, and Wyomissing playing and Mifflin. Those are the
Big Spring and Northern, too.
Yeah, right.
Mifflin, this would be the Wyomissing team. That would be the substitute for James Buchanan, and I believe Wyomissing's pretty good, too. I think they were ranked, got that here somewhere. We can go over that here in a little bit. I thought I saw Wyomissing, but maybe I didn't. But they were in the playoffs, I know, last year. So Shippensburg trailing by 7 at 14-7, and they will get the ball to start the third quarter. But we got a little ways to go before that starts. So we'll bring in J.D. Davidson. J.D., very interesting first half. I guess I can call it interesting.
Yeah, Waynesboro came out and pretty much smacked us right in the mouth from the get-go and put us on our heels. That big third down pass, 37 yards, and with excellent coverage Shippensburg had on it. They came up with that big first down because they were going backwards with holding penalties and some procedure penalties and so forth. And then after that, they just abandoned the passing game, went running game, and we had no answers for a quarter and a half and stopping them and found ourselves down 14-0. And then, there's a reason Waynesboro's 1-2. Penalties, I think, is one of them, and they had the inability to hold on to the football there late in the second half. Shippensburg did make a few adjustments, got the 2 turnovers, and, unfortunately, offensively, we still haven't had any answers for Waynesboro's defense because Carter Van Zyok has been running for his life back there, and that's what happened on the touchdown. He ran for his life, found daylight, got in the end zone, and got Shippensburg on the board. So it's a respectable 14-7 score at halftime. But when we get into the stats here later on, boy, it's all lopsided. It's all in favor of Waynesboro.
Yeah, and Adam Hauser, probably still not 100%. You needed a big game out of him, and he could still come back in the second half, but he's been a non-factor.
Well, Waynesboro seems to have the speed, and we're trying to run wide, and we just can't get wide tonight like we did last week against Bermudian Springs, and we were a little faster than what they were and so forth. So, the speed-wise, they got probably the upper hand on that because they're able to stop our wide running game. The most successful runs we've had have been between the tackles so far tonight. But we haven't been able to block well at all tonight for Carter to give him any time to find any open receivers, just like the fourth down pass there. He had, he was scrambling, really didn't have a good time to set his feet, and Gustafson wasn't set in the end zone. The pass was a little behind him. It could have been caught, but, it's one of those things. Just got to find a way to give him more time so he can find his receivers downfield.
And Scott and I don't know if you could hear us or not, but we were kind of hoping maybe they would try the field goal. Your thoughts on that at the end of the second half or second quarter?
Yeah, I'm not sure that Shetter has the leg for it yet. Been nice to try it, but Shippensburg's going to have to score touchdowns to win this football game. I don't think we're going to keep Waynesboro. If we keep Waynesboro out of the end zone in the second half, I'll be surprised. But so we're going to have to score probably at least twice, maybe 3 more times here to come away with a win.
Yeah, he has not done much, and he really hasn't. He's done pretty good in the extra points, but I don't know. I would have kicked or tried it just because you make it 14-10 and then have the ball to start the second half. But a lot of football left, but Shippensburg is going to have to make an awful lot of adjustments here to keep close to Waynesboro.
Yeah, I think they made a few adjustments there after the second score because they tightened up on defense a little bit. They forced the 2 fumbles, got the short field, and were able to turn that into points and so forth. And we're threatening there right at the end of the half. So, like you said, we get the football to start the second half. That's where we really need to make the adjustments. We got to figure out a better blocking scheme, give Carter a little bit more time. I like the 2 slant passes back-to-back to Kane Freidinger. Wouldn't mind seeing more slant passes, maybe with some other guys on a slant route other than Kane and so forth. And, the fade in the end zone for the touchdown, Waynesboro was looking for that. They had the inside coverage, and the safety was bailing out before the throw was made. So it was a nice throw by Carter to throw it away in the quarter of the end zone. But it would have been nice if they would have had another play called somewhere where they could have, he could have pump faked that and maybe hit someone else, in that vacant spot where the safety was at.
Okay, we'll be back to talk about the first half stats after this.
Advantage Chem-Dry has been locally owned and operated for over 20 years. We are your one-stop shop for all your flooring needs. Check out our virtual showroom at AdvantageFlooringPA.com. We carry the latest selection of hardwood, ceramic, carpet, vinyl, laminate, and LVT flooring. If you want all your carpet and flooring solutions in one convenient location, look no further. Our quality is guaranteed. Call me, Ashley, at Advantage Flooring, 532-9977 to set up a free in-home estimate.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Back here at halftime, Rob Ebersol, Scott Smith, J.D. Davidson, and let's go over the Chamberlain Pest Control halftime stats.
Okay, for the Shippensburg Greyhounds, 15 rushes in the first half for 48 yards. Philip Torres, 4 for 23. Van Syok, 4 for 17. And Hauser just 7 for 8. Van Syok passing, 5 for 12. No interceptions for 27 yards. Kane Freidinger, 2 for 19. Stauffer, 1 for 6. Brown, 1 for 2. And Hauser, 1 catch for no yards. For the Indians, leading ball carrier, Frampton, 9 for 78. Kirshner, 10 for 48. Drumsta, 8 for 26. 29 for 166 for Waynesboro in the first half. Kirshner passing 1 for 3 for 37 yards. That was to Alvarez. 203 yards of total offense in the first half for the hometown Indians. The Indians, though, with 9 penalties and 65 yards in the first half, they had 9 first downs. Shippensburg had 4.
Wow. How many tackles did Frampton? Did you keep that? No, you don't have that.
I don't keep visiting teams.
Well, you should have in that one because he had about 100 of them.
I keep the Shippensburg stuff. I get paid to keep the Shippensburg stuff. Not the,
you do?
Not the Waynesboro stuff.
Oh, I didn't know you got paid. Second half, what do we got to do?
Play better. Play better on offense, play better on defense. We got to block better on offense so the offense can get some continuity going in the running and passing game. And defensively, we got to tackle better and be in the right position to make plays to stop their running game. If we can keep them, we get them in 3rd and long, I think we're in good shape. If they get 3rd and short all night long, it could be a long second half for the Shippensburg Greyhounds.
Thank you, J.D., as always, and we'll continue with our halftime after this.
Premier Events West Orange Street in Shippensburg is the place to go for excellent upscale food and service in the Shippensburg area. Premier Events is a premier banquet and special events facility that offers catering for all occasions in their beautiful chandelier-lit banquet room. All their delicious food is freshly prepared and can be served on or off-site at your chosen location. Call them today at 532-2279 to book your party and let your next event be a premier event.
Every day, the Shippensburg News-Chronicle makes it their business to cover the local news. From breaking news to features, from local government to sports, the News-Chronicle lives and breathes Shippensburg. In today's fast-paced world, there are many ways to stay informed and connected with the News-Chronicle. The print edition, the online website subscription, or the easy-to-read e-edition. To subscribe and select what fits your lifestyle, visit shipnc.com. Since 1844, the News-Chronicle has been reporting on the people, and the news of the Shippensburg area. Keep in touch today at shipnc.com, the Shippensburg News Chronicle. Halftime, 14 for Waynesboro and 7 for Shippensburg.
Let's take a look at the Dandy Dozen that was printed yesterday in the Patriot News. And Harrisburg maintains the number 1 position as they increased their win total to 4-0, and they beat Pottsville 45-0 last week. State College is number 2 at 3-0. And number 3 is Cumberland Valley at 3-0. They've really played well here early on in the season. Number 4 is Berks Catholic. All they did was beat York Catholic 50-0 last week and have outscored their opponents 97-0 in the last 2 games. Manheim Central is number 5 at 3-0. Middletown 3-0. They beat West Perry 63-7 last week. Cocalico up to number 7. Governor Mifflin at number 8 at 3-1. Central Dauphin, they beat Wilson last week. They're 2-1, and they moved up a spot. Manheim Township lost by 35 points to Governor Mifflin last week, so they were number 3. They're 10. Shippensburg remains at number 11 after beating Bermudian Springs 33-10, and Bishop McDevitt at 2-2, and they lost to Cumberland Valley by 26 points last week. So Shippensburg holding on at number 11 spot, and they are still under the teams to watch in the state high school rankings. But they certainly have to do a little bit better in this second half to maintain that status.
And since the schedule came out early preseason, Rob, next week's ball game with Riverdale was a game that the Patriot News picked as to watch for the season.
Yeah, it's I don't know, part of the unknown or part of the fact that see how good Shippensburg is if to play a team from a different state, a team that's based close to New York City. I guess that's what it is, and we've done a little research, and we'll have more for you next week, but a lot of unknown for that game and that team. But Shippensburg at number 11, and they certainly have to come back and win this game to maintain that. And I just wanted to get back to this why I'm missing. They are ranked number 9 in 3A. The team is playing Mifflin County tonight. They're undefeated at 4-0, and they're, of course, a District 3 team, too.
Well, another thing that Shippensburg needs to keep in mind here, with a victory tonight over Waynesboro, this is a 5A team.
Yep.
And that helps when we start compiling the points for district spots in the playoffs this year.
And I think those rankings start coming out after Week 5 or before Week 5, so we should have an idea here shortly on the first rankings for the District 3 playoffs. And, then they've already beat Chambersburg, a 6A squad, so a win tonight, and then a win in a couple weeks against Mifflin County, was another 6A team, so that would help. But first things first.
Let's take care of business here tonight, right?
Yeah, because you heard J.D. and some of the stats he mentioned that Frampton 9 carries, 78 yards, and the quarterback Kirshner 10 carries, 48 yards, and Shippensburg as a team 15 carries, 48 yards. So total domination offensively and from the running game for Waynesboro.
I mean, except for all of the Waynesboro mistakes, the pile of penalties they had in the first half, but putting the football on the ground was the only way that Shippensburg was able to get enough of offense to put some points on the board.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. And quite frankly, they were so close to having a tie game here at the half, but couldn't have that happen. So get the ball back, try to maintain some sort of a good offense, and get back and tie this ball game.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Advantage ChemDry understands that your pets are an important part of your family, but what happens when they cause messes? We have a revolutionary pet urine removal treatment that's specially formulated to eliminate urine odors. We offer full evaluations, including treating your subfloor, carpet, padding, and new flooring replacement. Stop being embarrassed by your pet's accidents and call me, Ashley, at 717-532-8676 or visit us online at AdvantageChemDry.com. Get $20 off your pet urine removal treatment.
Timmins Oil Incorporated of Orrstown has been proudly serving the local area for over 35 years with quality fuel oil, diesel fuel, and kerosene products at reasonable prices. The Timmins folks invite you to call now and arrange convenient fuel oil delivery for the upcoming heating season. Call Timmins Oil at 532-3740. That's 532-3740. Or stop in and say hello at 12901 Mountain Road in Orrstown. The Timmins family encourages all drivers to exercise extra caution on the roads now that the kids are back in school. Parents, remember to take the time to become involved in your children's school activities. And this fall and always, save a life. Please don't drink and drive. Remember, for extra convenient fuel oil delivery this winter, call Timmins Oil of Orrstown now at 532-3740. That's Timmins Oil at 532-3740. The Timmins family is proud to be part of our Cumberland and Franklin County communities. And go Greyhounds!
Shippensburg Greyhounds have come out to the gridiron here at Buchanan Park Stadium. They found themselves in a familiar position because last week at halftime they found themselves down and then put together a great third quarter of play. But as dominant as Waynesboro was in the first half, they're lucky to find themselves just down by 7 points.
Yeah, I tell you, we kind of looked at each other a couple times here in the booth there in the first half, like, you know, what do we get ourselves into here? But hey, they can come back and let's see what they can do. I'm trying to find some scores here, partner, but not having too much luck. Bermudian Springs is winning 7-0. Not really too much. Cedar Crest winning. Can't find anything local of any interest, but I'll keep looking. Both Shippensburg's back out on the field doing their stretching.
And here comes Waynesboro as well. Nice facility here at Waynesboro. A beautiful turf field. Lighting is a little suspect. Lots of shadows.
We're used to that, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
I say that about every, unfortunately. Berks Catholic winning 31-0 against Lancaster Catholic.
They are just an offensive machine again this year.
Yeah, they sure are. And I tell you what, that team was just impressive last year, and they have almost all their starters back, and they're showing why they're ranked in the top 5 in the state. Cumberland Valley beating Chambersburg 28-0.
It's good to see Chambersburg playing again this week after everything that high school's been through over the last couple of weeks, and certainly our prayers and thoughts are being able to get that straightened out.
Yeah, we didn't certainly have any idea why the game was forfeited last week, and had no idea what was going on there. But you're right, that's just a shame, and it sounds like they're trying to get things back on track, and they hadn't decided last I saw whether they're going to play again tonight. What else we got here? Bishop McDevitt beating Hershey 28-0. Lower Dauphin beating Cedar Cliff, but nothing as far as the Colonial Division. We'll keep looking. So it shouldn't be too much longer before we start the second half. We mentioned more than once that Greyhounds will get the ball to start quarter number 3. And
we mentioned earlier in the broadcast the nice Shippensburg fan base that's supporting this team this year.
Yeah, they really are. They very good good following for the teams, and they always do well. The football teams traveling to the away games, and I know that's important for the team and the coaching staff to see all the support that is given to them. So we should be underway here very shortly.
A lot of pride in this Greyhound squad, Rob. They had just an outstanding year last year. First time they've ever gone to the district championship game as a school, and the preseason expectations that these kids are trying to live up to. As we mentioned in our Countdown to Kickoff show, it's a different football team this year. A lot of nice talent out there. Carter Van Syok certainly has showed the first 3 weeks how much he has matured as a young man and a quarterback and his presence on the field. Different core of receivers to throw to, but they're all very, very talented and can catch the football and fight for the football. Having the Adam Hauser back and Philip Torres in the backfield is a solid running core. Yeah, there have been some changes up front, both sides of the line. Linebacking core is young and inexperienced, but they're going to play hard and they're going to fight for every scrap and inch that they can get out in that football field. Just was surprised to see the Indians come out so strongly against this team here in this first half.
Yeah, and that's you said that perfectly as far as the expectations, and obviously they want their team to do well again and try to get back to that playoff situation, and this is going to be a big half to determine if they can keep that hunt alive. It's not going to be the end of the world if they lose, but they certainly would like to go to 4-0 and get those extra points against the 5A squad.
It certainly doesn't get any easier. We don't know what Riverdale brings to the contest, but then it's Mifflin County the week after that, and then the rest of the Colonial Division schedule, and each one of those games is tough.
Alex Sharrow deep, awaiting the George Souders kickoff. Nice kick.
Wow.
And taken at the 10-yard line. It's fumbled and picked up, and still not picked up. And this is going to be bad starting position for Shippensburg, as Alex Sharrow fumbled it and had a heck of a time picking the ball up. He finally did, and guess who made the tackle? Mason Frampton, and Shippensburg is starting back at their own 2-yard line. Wow. Maybe the 3, excuse me.
Well, that pigskin was as slippery as any pigskin you'll see.
Well, and that was a heck of a kickoff by Souders, and I don't know if the ball was lost by Sharrow, but he had couldn't get a hold of it and finally did, but way deep starting for Shippensburg. Man in motion. And just a run, and that's a nice run on first down by Torres up over the left side. And a little bit of breathing room for Shippensburg. It'll be a gain of about 4, second down and 6. Mason Frampton on the stop once again. So Torres helps things out with a nice run. Adam Hauser is in the ball game, man in motion again. And this is Torres again, and this time he goes nowhere. Nasser Mowdy on the stop, and Mowdy's a big kid, the 6'2", 280. That's going to be a loss of 1. And how about Mason Frampton for another tackle also? It's 3rd down and 7. So they put Kyler Brown in motion the last 2 plays. They haven't given the ball to him. They have done that in the past. So 3rd down, and boy, try to get a first down here and keep this alive and not give Waynesboro a really, really good field position. Van Syok back to pass. Throws short, and it is dropped. Intended for Kyler Brown, and it'll be 4th down and Shippensburg, a 3 and out.
And Frampton was in the backfield again, Rob, even before Carter Van Syok had his 3-step drop. Unbelievably how he just busts through that line.
Trumpsta and Damian Swisher double coverage on the receiver. So Frampton and Gaskell standing at the Shippensburg 40-yard line. And Ocker deep in his own end zone. Nice snap. And a high kick, not bad. Bounces it to 35 and takes a Shippensburg bounce, 45, almost at midfield. And now it takes another roll into Waynesboro territory. So that's a heck of a punt by Eddie Ocker. But Waynesboro will still have good field position at their own 47.
Yep, here come the Indians now as they start their first possession of the second half. But this is a fired-up Indian squad, Rob. I mean, you can just really see they came to play football here.
They sure did. In spite of their penalties and turnovers, they've certainly played a pretty good ball game. So Kirshner from the gun on first down.
This first set for the defense for Shippensburg could be very telling.
Kirshner's going to throw down the far sideline, and the ball is up in the air, and it's out of bounds. Nice coverage by Austin Kozer. And I believe that was Gaskill, the intended receiver for Waynesboro. But that ball was not thrown very well. Probably Kirshner saw the good coverage by Kozer, and he throws it out of bounds. So second down and 10 for Waynesboro at the 46-yard line. So once again, the defense has the pressure put on them to not allow any more points by this Waynesboro offense. Frampton in motion. Frampton gets the ball over the right side, and Frampton fights forward close to midfield. Be close to the 50-yard line, and it'll bring up a third down and about 7. Tackled by Zach Hutchison. Going to give him 4. It'll be third down and 6 right at midfield. So Hutchison's had a good ball game defensively. Junior, 5'8", 215. So Drumsta is a lone setback, and the slot once again is Frampton in motion, but this is Kirshner. Kirshner fights ahead. He's going to be short of the first down. He's going to bring up a fourth down and about 3. Naz Minor another tackle. So let's see what Coach Steve Myers is going to do. The offense coming off, and it looks like they're going to punt the ball away, which is a good if you're going to play a little game of field position
I'll
here
say.
To start the half.
If you're Waynesboro, this is a great play.
Christian Melendez back deep. High punt by Souders. Melendez lets it bounce, and Shippensburg is going to start the second possession in the third quarter inside their own 3-yard line. So
is that called a game of squeezing them?
I guess. And Melendez obviously didn't decide to rush up and get that, hoping that the ball would bounce into the end zone, but it took a nice little bounce towards the sidelines, and Shippensburg 1st and 10 from their own 3.
It acted like a knuckleball and bounced straight up into the air.
So the Greyhounds again. 8:45 remaining here in the third. Van Syok, a whistle, I believe, looked like Waynesboro jumped. Let's see. Nope. Waynesboro defense is clapping, so let's see. Nope, illegal procedure against Shippensburg. So that'll move it back to about the 1.5. And it'll be first down for the Greyhounds. That's tough. You come out, have the ball to start the second half, Scott, and 2 horrible field positions to start their first 2 possessions.
Plus, you almost need a flashlight to see down at that end of the football field.
Yeah, they need a couple brighter bulbs. Van Syok, quarterback keeper, and Van Syok fights over the 5-yard line. Get a couple of yards back. It'll be bring up a second down and 8. Nasir Maudi on another stop for the Indians. So that's a good call on 1st and 12. Quarterback keeper, and Van Syok gives himself a little bit of room to roam around. Hauser and Torres split in the backfield. Comes the blitz.
Oh, did he get cut down nicely that time?
Ball thrown behind Freidinger. Double coverage on the far side. Freidinger almost made a nice one-handed grab. Drumsta on the coverage for the Indians. Incomplete pass, 3rd down and 8. 7:44 remaining here in the 3rd. Boy, it's just tough to come up with a good offensive play this deep in your own territory. Gustafson to the near side. Fry to the far side. Van Syok into his end zone. He's being rushed out. Avoids one tackle, and then he's brought down close to the end line. David Henke with the sack. And are they going to call the safety? Nope.
No. Right on the, just shy of the goal line, Rob.
And Carter Van Syok, can't really fault him, but he couldn't find anybody open.
He had nobody to throw to.
Yeah,
he had plenty of time, but he had nobody to throw to. Great job by the secondary of the Indians.
So this time, Eddie Ocker is going to be standing right in the back of the end zone. Here's the
Comes
punt.
Some pressure. Oh.
Gets it off. And Frampton's going to call for the fair catch at the Shippensburg 40. But great job by Eddie Ocker to get it out of the end zone. And
I'll say, because they were bringing everybody, Rob. They really were. Put a nice spiral up in the air and a second nice punt.
That's a 40-yard punt for Ocker. But once again, great field position for the Indians. Wow. So the senior quarterback, Isaiah Kirshner, 6 feet, 185. Mason Frampton, senior, 5'8", 185. Drumsta, a senior. Frampton in motion, and here is Frampton. Frampton up over the 35-yard line. Ethan Stauffer on the stop, a whistle. And see what this penalty flag is going to be.
I think we have a motion call in the backfield, an illegal shift, I believe, Rob. Yep.
So that will negate the 5-yard run and make it 1st down and 15. Back at the 45-yard line of Shippensburg. So this is Jay Alvarez split to the near side, and Damian Swisher to the far side. Under center is Kirshner. Kirshner hands it off to Drumsta. Drumsta still on his feet. Inside the 10, inside the 5. Almost another touchdown. Naz Minor finally brings him down, but a little delay to Drumsta. And he almost scored, and it's 1st down and goal for the Waynesboro Indians.
Boy, again, Shippensburg defense simply back on their heels, but the speed of the Indian running backs have just made it hard for Shippensburg to react.
1st and goal to go at the 5-yard line. Drumsta behind Kirshner. Long count. And this is Drumsta again. Drumsta fights forward, short of the end line. So it'll be a 2nd down and goal at about the 2-yard line. Gabriel Long makes the stop. Looks like Drumsta was going to be able to fight into the end zone, but bring up a 2nd down. Gabriel Long with a nice tackle, the senior. So they break the huddle. Drumsta behind the quarterback. In the slot is Frampton. And the quarterback keeper, Kirshner. Kirshner loses the football, and it's into the end zone. It looks like a Waynesboro player bounced on it, and he did. It'll be a touchdown, Waynesboro. And that is going to be Jay Alvarez with the fumble recovery, and it's a touchdown for the Indians.
Well, everything is just going in favor of the Indians.
Wow. The ball flew up into the air and it laid on the ground for a good bit in the end zone, but Alvarez will be credited with the touchdown. And George Souders, the senior kicker, will try to tack on the 21st point of the evening for the Waynesboro Indians, and a whistle, and that's going to be offsides, I believe, against the Greyhound. That was Eddie Walker on the far side. So Souders will try it again. A little stunned. A little stunned. Well, you said it on the ride down here. You said about how you never know. Waynesboro got beat by Shippensburg pretty bad the last 2 years, and they've come out and played pretty well. Kick is up. Kick is good. 5:23 remaining in the third. It's 21-7 Waynesboro.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
So Jay Alvarez, fumble recovery in the end zone and the extra point, and it's 21-7. And Shippensburg will get the ball back. Christian Melendez is back there.
Third quarter game of field position. Worked very well in favor of the Indians.
That is great point. Sherrow's back also. Sherrow gets it at the 12-yard line, up to the 20, 25, 30. Hit hard at the 30-yard line, maybe the 31. Is that my boy Frampton?
That's him again.
Frampton with the stop. Good return by Sherrow.
I'll bet you he sleeps well after a football game, I'll tell you.
He has to have 15 tackles, doesn't he?
My. He's been in on every play. I mean, he has had an influence on every play in this ball game, whether it's on offense or defense.
1st and 10 Greyhounds at their own 30. Carter under center. And this is Hauser. Hauser over the left side.
There he is again.
Hauser with a good gain up over the 35-yard line, so I'm not even going to mention who made the tackle because we all know it.
Rob, that time he was standing right over the center, and he waited for the snap, and then he just spun around the center and on the backside of Hauser. Unbelievable quickness off the ball.
Nice gain for Hauser, 2nd down and 5. And this is Torres, and Torres fights up over the 40, and it's going to be 3rd down and short. Frampton.
How does he get there all the time?
Unbelievable.
They don't even announce his name as the tackler on the public address system.
So 3rd and short. Still 4 minutes to go here in the third. And Syok, this is Torres, and Torres will move the chains. And boy, that Frampton threw one of the offensive linemen away. No call. Nason Mowdy on the stop. And 1st down at the 42. And once again, quickly to the line of scrimmage is Shippensburg. Van Sock will throw on 1st down, and that's Friedinger. Friedinger up over the 45 to about the 46. Damian Swisher, gain of about 5 again. It'll be 2nd down and 5. And once again, the hurry-up offense for Shippensburg. Backs are split. Van Syok, movement up front, no whistle. Van Sock flushed out of the pocket, still has the ball, and now he's going to be sacked. That was David Henke, and Van Syok is hurt. And I believe there was a late hit.
Yeah, there really was. And no penalty marker.
Daniel Worthy.
Did they throw the flag?
Coach Faust coming out.
There is a penalty marker down there.
Coming out to look. And Van Syok is up on his feet, but he is in pain. He's kind of stretching his back. They did call the late hit. I believe that was on Daniel Worthy.
He's in a lot of pain, Rob.
The ball will be moved all the way inside the 45-yard line of Waynesboro to the 43-yard line. And I believe they're going to have him sit out
at least a.
They're still tending to him on the field, but
I don't know. They're looking at the right arm, shoulder. I mean, he was really slammed to the turf, and as this is a turf field, doesn't give as easily as a grass field does.
I believe Nick Gustafson will be the backup. Yep, and he'll be the quarterback as Van Syok is walking, but very gingerly. And
yeah, that's huge for this Greyhound team. And was something that just wasn't necessary either.
Not at all. So what a position now for the sophomore, the younger brother of Cody. And he'll have it 1st and 10 at the Waynesboro 43.
Maybe this is just the motivation that Shippensburg needs to get on track.
Gustafson under center here on 1st down. Pitch to Hauser. Gets a block from Torres, but I'll tell you what, Frampton was right there and threw Hauser for a loss of about 8. Unbelievable.
How does he get in the backfield that quickly?
Torres made a nice block on one of the defenders, but he didn't block Frampton, and wow.
Well, I'm not sure if you had 15 kids out in the field you could block him. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time, Rob, but I don't know that I've ever seen anybody that quick involved in every play.
Yep, every play. 2nd down, let's call it 15. The 48-yard line of Waynesboro, and Gustafson back to pass. Throws the fade pass to the near sideline to Freidinger. Nice pass, a little bit overthrown. Adam Wirtz on the coverage, but not a bad throw by Gustafson. And then Carter Van Sock's going to come back out for the 3rd down. Tough kid. So interesting, and Gustafson will stay in obviously and be the wide receiver again, but that wasn't a bad throw, just a little bit overthrown, but considering, no time to warm up or anything, that's a nice try on 2nd down. So Van Syok from the gun on 3rd down. Back to pass, has some time, throws it to Freidinger again, and Freidinger, I don't know if it was kind of weird, he turned around and I don't know if he expected that ball.
Oh, I think he did, and it was well overthrown, and Freidinger pushed off. I'm surprised he didn't draw a flag on that.
Double coverage, Drumsta and Wirtz. And it'll be 4th down. So Frampton and Gaskell back, waiting the Eddie Ocker kick. End over end kick. Frampton takes a big bounce, and now he's going to get out of the way, and it's going to be downed inside the 10-yard line by Kane Freidinger, and that's where Waynesboro will start the offense again. Nice punt by Ocker. 2:22 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. 21-7 Waynesboro. So they break their huddle on first down. Mason Frampton in the backfield, actually split to the left side. Drumsta in the backfield. And this is Drumsta. Drumsta gets stopped after a short gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Colby Tracy on the stop. It seems like this third quarter in James Monahan, third quarter's taking a long time. Ball marked at the 10.
Well, the first 6 or 7 minutes went really quickly, but the last 3 have been very slow.
2nd down from the gun. Frampton. Frampton cuts back in the middle of the field, gets up to about the 14-yard line before he's brought down. It'll be 3rd down and about 4. Aiden Mead on the stop for the Greyhounds. And Christian Bortz. So the ball at the 15 now. 3rd down and 4 for the Indians.
The Hounds with horrible field position here in this third quarter, twice working from their 3-yard line.
3rd down call. Big opportunity for Shippensburg. This is Frampton takes the handoff, and Frampton is going to be held behind the first down marker, so it's going to be close, I guess, huh?
Yep, they're indicating
they're
first
get
down.
First
Rob.
down.
Yep.
Okay. Colby Tracy. Wishful thinking on my part. Moves the chain at the 19-yard line. Under a minute to play here in the third. Been a big stop for the Greyhounds. I probably would have gotten decent field position. Down by 2 touchdowns. From the gun this time is Kirshner. And this is Drumsta. Drumsta over left tackle, breaks 1 tackle, gets up over the 30, close to the 35, and another first down. Eddie Ocker. Stauffer, Ethan Stauffer. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line, and Drumsta's taken over the running load here in later in the third quarter, and he's done a really good job. Frampton is flanked far to the right, 3 receivers to the far side, and I think they're going to let the clock run out here at the end of the third quarter. So we've played 3 here from Waynesboro. It's the Indians 21, Greyhounds 7.
Advantage ChemDry understands that your pets are an important part of your family, but what happens when they cause messes? We have a revolutionary pet urine removal treatment that's specially formulated to eliminate urine odors. We offer full evaluations, including treating your subfloor, carpet, padding, and new flooring replacement. Stop being embarrassed by your pet's accidents and call me, Ashley, at 717-532-8676 or visit us online at AdvantageChemDry.com. Get $20 off your pet urine removal treatment.
Well, partner, hope you bring them some good luck here in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter play-by-play, Scott Smith.
Thank you, Rob. 21-7, Waynesboro. Dominating performance on both sides of the ball by the Indians here tonight through 3. And when they move the chains, and the Indians will be moving left to right in the 4th and final 12. Shippensburg has just not done well, and the Indians have just played exceptionally well. Tale of 2 football teams here tonight.
Yeah, really, and just Shippensburg can catch a break. A couple fumble recoveries, but get the ball to start the second half, only down by a touchdown, and their first 2 possessions have to start inside their own 5-yard line. That's not exactly how you want to start things, but let's see if their defense can do something here in the fourth.
So it will be 1st and 10 from the Indian 34 for Waynesboro. Kirshner will have Drumsta to the far side as the Indians will move left to right. Trips to the near side of the formation. Kirshner with the takeaway. He's going to run with the football. Slides up the far side, steps through one tackler at midfield, still on his feet, down across the 30, and out of bounds close to the 25-yard line of Shippensburg goes the senior quarterback. James Monahan pulled him down from behind. Let's see where he stepped out of bounds. Well, now they're coming back upfield because there's a penalty marker on the play.
Wow, that was quite a run by Kirshner. He broke 3 or 4 tackles running down the far sideline.
Holding against Waynesboro. Has to be the 6th or 7th time they've been called for a hold tonight. They really don't need to do that at all.
No. No. But that was been maybe the final dagger if they could have scored there.
The hold occurred upfield, so the walk-off goes down to the 32-yard line, where it'll be first down now on about 13. So the hold occurred out at the 43-yard line. Swisher comes to the near side, along with Wirtz. Backs this time are split. Frampton and Dumstra on either side of Kirschman. And Kirshner hands it off to Drumsta, who's into the middle of the line, and he'll get a couple out to about the 33-yard line. Eddie Ocker on the stop. Second down and 11 after the 2-yard carry.
I like this kid, this Kirshner kid. He really plays the quarterback position well. Very calm, very collected.
Ball 20 yards in from the far side of the field. Backs are split as Kirshner works from the gun. Fakes a handoff to Drumsta straight ahead and tosses it to Frampton, who tries to turn the corner up the near, and he is dropped at the 34-yard line by Adam Hauser for Shippensburg. He'll pick up a couple as they mark his forward progress out to the 35, and we'll call it 3rd down and 9.
Well, that's good defensive pressure that time by the Greyhounds. They fought through a couple blocks and a nice tackle by Adam Hauser.
Ball 20 yards in from the near side. They'll have running room to the far. And Frampton will go into a slot to that side. Drumsta's the lone setback as Kirshner's under center. They send Frampton in motion.
No.
And we've got a whistle before the snap. And I think we've got motion again. Illegal procedure, the call. 3rd down and about 14 as the ball is walked back to the 30-yard line. Clock stopped, 10:19 left to go in the game. The Indians have led from the opening drive. They 21-7. This time Jay Alvarez is to the near side. Backs are split as Kirshner works from the gun. Handoff goes to Frampton, who tries the near side off of left tackle and maybe gets the ball out to the 30 where it'll be 4th down. James Monahan made the stop for the Hounds. So it's 4th down and 14.
Hey, that was a nice tackle by Monahan, the senior. He just fought through a block and didn't let Frampton get any steam. And Shippensburg will get the ball back. I was asking JD about how many penalties. 9 penalties on Waynesboro in the first half, and this at least the 3rd or 4th in the second half.
Souders back to punt it away, and Melendez waiting back at the Shippensburg 25-yard line. Nice snap, no pressure. Souders gets an end-over-end kickoff, which hits at the 25. Picked up by Hauser back there at the 20-yard line. Scoots to the outside, up the far side, out of bounds, out across the 30. Penalty marker flies as Hauser goes out of bounds, and let's see what this flag is about.
Well, Adam Hauser almost broke it around the corner, but still a decent return.
And it's going to go against Shippensburg. Probably an illegal block in the back. Yep. So that'll cost Shippensburg 10 more. After a nice return by Hauser. Ball will be placed down at the 22-yard line of Shippensburg. 9:03 left to go in the game. Waynesboro 21, Shippensburg 7. Carter Van Syok from the gun. Wants to throw. Has to elude some pressure. Steps and throws upfield. Looking for Adam Hauser, but well short. He almost threw that into the hands of Tom Dumstra at about the 33-yard line. So the pass is incomplete, and it's second down.
Yeah, we obviously don't know what is hurting with Carter, but something is, because that late hit he took, and he seemed like he winced after he threw that last football.
So it's 2nd and 10 for Shippensburg at their 22. Freidinger, Hickman to the near side. Gustafson to the far side. Once again from the gun. He puts the football into the hands of Philip Torres. And Torres will scoot out close to first down yardage across the 30-yard line and out to the 33-yard line. Nazer Moody makes the tackle, but that moves the chains for the Greyhounds. Hasn't happened too often tonight. But a nice run by Torres, and it's 1st and 10, Shippensburg out at their 33.
Yeah, Philip Torres does a nice job for Coach Faust. Runs hard and plays the game right.
Hickman, Gustafson, and Freidinger to the near side. Carter Van Syok with the takeaway. Steps and throws and completes the pass to Kane Freidinger for another first down out at the 45-yard line. Guy Sullivan making the tackle, but the chains move once again, and the Hounds are on the move here. This drive starting at their own 22-yard line. They have it out to their 44. 8:25 left to go in the football game. 3 wide receivers to the far side. From the gun, Gustafson looks to the right, now throws over the middle, and it's caught at midfield by Adam Hauser. Nice reception by the Shippensburg running back. Guy Sullivan making the tackle. That's a 7-yard pickup as they put the football down in Waynesboro territory at the 49. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Hurry up offense by Shippensburg. Torres the lone setback. Gustafson steps, throws down the far side of the football field looking for Hickman. But Hickman couldn't find the football, didn't know which way to turn. Step-for-step coverage by Drumsta. And the pass falls incomplete, and it's 3rd down.
Hickman had a step on Drumsta, but again, he just couldn't find the football. It's kind of an odd play.
Ball at the 49-yard line of the Indians. This time they're going to send 3 wide receivers to the wide side of the field, which is the far side as the Hounds move right to left. Hauser is wide to the near side. Torres the lone setback. Gustafson steps, throws, and it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, and that was Kane Freidinger, but it would have been shy of first down yardage, but Mason Frampton made a big hit on Freidinger as the ball got there, and Frampton got there at the same time, and that broke it up, and it's 4th down for Shippensburg.
Mentioned earlier, he listed at 5'8". That kid is just quite
He's the same size that I am. Same weight, same size, and he played an unbelievable ball game. Hounds are going for it on 4th and 3. Trips to the far side. Running room to the near side where Adam Hauser sets up. Gustafson steps, or Carter Van Syok steps and throws up the far sideline and completes it for a first down to Kane Freidinger. And that'll move the chains for Shippensburg down at the 39-yard line. Nice little hitch and go to the outside, and the Hounds pick up the first down, converting on 4th.
That's a big 4th down, obviously.
And we got a whistle. And Waynesboro wants to slow things down here. They're going to call a timeout with 7:33 left to go in this football game as the Hounds are on the move. This drive started down at their 21-yard line, and they've moved it to the Waynesboro 39. Nicest drive of the ball game for Shippensburg.
Well, yeah, and this hurry-up offense, whatever you want to call it, is worked at times. And this stretch, Carter's been able to find some open receivers, and they've made some nice catches. So Shippensburg obviously playing catch-up.
That's the first time out for Waynesboro here in the half. First and 10 for Shippensburg after the Waynesboro timeout at the Indian 39. Trips to the near side. Again from the gun. Van Syok with the takeaway. Looking to the near sideline, and Kane Freidinger cannot hold on, or check that. That's, yeah, it is Kane Freidinger. He couldn't hold on. He was wide open at the 36-yard line, and the pass drops in and out of his hands, and it's second down. Dalton Mowen on the coverage. You got to catch those.
Yep.
Freidinger, Loy, and Cobb come to the near side. Hauser is wide to the far side. Again, the takeaway. Here comes the pressure. Carter Van Syok scrambling, throws, and completes the pass to Kane Freidinger at the 20-yard line. He turns up the near sideline and goes out of bounds at the 6, where it will be first and goal. Mason Frampton makes the stop, but the Hounds have it in the red zone. First and 10 at the 6. Check that, the 11-yard line.
What a throw by Carter Van Syok. That was unbelievable. Wow.
Trips to the far side. Running room to that side. Van Syok looks into the end zone, and the pass is broken up right on the goal line by guess who?
Yep.
Frampton broke it up on the goal line as that pass was intended for Jacob Loy, and incomplete. So it will be second and 10 from the 11.
Yeah, Loy ran a little crossing pattern into the center of the end zone, and Frampton was right there.
Torres to the near side of Gustafson. The trips are on the far side of the formation. Again, a crossing pattern, looking this time for Nick Gustafson. And the pass was thrown a little too quickly, as Gustafson did not turn and expect it to be thrown that quickly. So it's third down and 10 from the 11.
Yeah, that's tough. Looked like Carter had some time, but he saw the open man.
Yeah, he was wide open too. Again, Loy, Kane, Freidinger, and Gustafson to the far side. Hauser to the near side. Gustafson with the takeaway. Hands the football off to Philip Torres, who puts his head down, spins across the 5 and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Unbelievable.
Great presence, great balance to take it in from 11 yards out, and Shippensburg puts 6 on the board.
And he got hit hard, and I believe that was Frampton, but he wouldn't go down. He did a little spin move. That's a great run by Torres. Wow.
So now let's see what the Hounds decide to do. Wisely, Shedder's in the ball game to attempt the point after. Ball is down. Shedder's kick is up, and it's blocked. Blocked. I think that was blocked by Daniel Worthy for the Indians. And so with 7:06 left to go in the game, it's Waynesboro 21 and Shippensburg 13. Well, for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Kathy's Deli, West King Street in Shippensburg is the place. Delicious breakfast selections, and for lunch and dinner, create your own sandwiches, hoagies, wraps, or salads. 3 hot soups as well as a hot meal special are available every day. Plus, Kathy's fresh baked goods and delicious dessert specials are the best. Voted number 1 since 2004. Enjoy a wonderful hometown atmosphere, delicious food, and friendly service at Kathy's Deli, West King Street, Shippensburg. Your next breakfast, lunch, or dinner should be at Kathy's Deli. Nice scoring drive by Shippensburg, partner.
12 plays, 78 yards, and we'll give the defense for Waynesboro there on the extra point. They put a lot of pressure, and ball was blocked. It wasn't the best of kicks, but I just think that was more the defensive pressure to get to the ball than Shedder's fault.
Jay Alvarez waiting back deep. Greyhounds going to attempt an onside kick here.
Waynesboro is expecting it. They have 9 men up.
And Eddie Ocker is doing the kicking. It's a short kick taken by Adrian Campbell at the 38-yard line. And so the Indians will go to work there.
I guess he tried to kick it over that first wave and maybe take a little bit of a crazy hop to allow one of his teammates to jump on the ball, but that didn't happen as Campbell was ready for the ball.
So here come the Indians. Kirshner will be under center. Dumstra the lone setback. They hand the football off to Dumstra, who goes straight ahead for about 3 out to the 39-yard line. Zach Hutchinson coming up to make the tackle. 2nd down and 7.
It's interesting. They've given the ball more to Drumsta here in the last quarter or so than they have Frampton. And he's done a very good job.
Frampton will wing to the far side of the field as the Indians move left to right. Running room to that side as well. Kirshner under center. Frampton gets the call this time, looks for blocking up the near side, puts his head down, penalty marker flies as Frampton goes down at the 41-yard line. James Monahan leading the charge for the Greyhounds. Clock is stopped as the penalty marker is on the ground. And let's see. Personal foul, face mask against Shippensburg. Tack on 15 more yards for the Indian offense. Well, I guess you get a little frustrated.
A little tired.
A little tired, yeah. So that moves the ball to the Shippensburg 44 where it's 1st and 10 Indians. Ball's 20 yards in from the near side.
Shippensburg with still all 3 timeouts.
Frampton wings to the far side of the formation. 2 wide receivers set. And the handoff goes to Dumstra, who slices off of right tackle and gets the football down to the Shippensburg 39-yard line. Nick Welts, Eddie Ocker. But that's a 5-yard carry by Drumsta. And it's 2nd down and 5. 5:40 left to go in the game. It's a 21-13 Indian lead. Swisher goes wide to the far side where there's running room. Alvarez is split to the near side. Frampton this time is winged to the near side. Under center is Kirshner with the takeaway. Hands off to Frampton, who turns up off of left tackle and gets the ball down close to the 35-yard line of Shippensburg. Austin Kozier making the stop, picking up 4, 3rd down and 1.
He has a knack of finding the opening, too. He started to the outside, and he just cut right up the middle of the field and almost got the 1st down.
Ball squarely sitting on the 35-yard line of Shippensburg. Campbell to the far side, Swisher to the near side. Double wing formation once again, and lead by Kirshner, who takes the quarterback sneak, and he's down and across the goal line for the touchdown. He had a hole that you and I could have run through together arm in arm, Rob, as the great work by the offensive line of the Indians opened it up, and Kirshner just went straight ahead and scampered in 35 yards for the touchdown.
Yeah, you called that perfectly, partner. That was just a great run. And in the end, he outran Adam Hauser into the end zone. Wow.
Well, we've said this how many times tonight, but the Indians have came to play in this football game, and they have just dominated Shippensburg from the get-go. Souders to, and we got penalty markers again. Tell you what, they're going to have to put those in the washing machines because they've been on the ground and they're getting pretty dirty tonight.
Yeah.
That's 5 yards against Waynesboro. Tell you what, the penalties just have not affected this ball club at all.
You'd think that it would have, but
4:34 left to go in the game. This time Souders will kick it from the 15-yard line. Out of Frampton's hold. He puts the ball down. And Souders puts the ball up and through. 4:34 left to go in the football game, and it's Waynesboro 28, Shippensburg 13.
Premier Events West Orange Street in Shippensburg is the place to go for excellent upscale food and service in the Shippensburg area. Premier Events is a premier banquet and special events facility that offers catering for all occasions in their beautiful chandelier-lit banquet room. All their delicious food is freshly prepared and can be served on or off-site at your chosen location. Call them today at 532-2279 to book your party and let your next event be a premier event.
63 yards and 5 plays for the Indians to make it 28-13.
too many offensive weapons, partner. Boy,
Yeah.
didn't even have to really throw the ball very much tonight either.
Nope. Quick off the ball.
Whew.
My. Souders set to kick it away to Alex Sherrill, who stands at about his 10-yard line. Last couple of kickoffs by Waynesboro have been huge. There's a high end over end kick, driving Sherrill back to the 4. He's out across the 10. 15-20. Puts his head down, and he goes down at about the 22-yard line on a big hit. That was a hit by Daniel Worthy. Nice return by Sherrill, though. So the Hounds will go to work, 1st and 10 at their own 22. 4:26 left to go in the game. Don't forget, next week, Thursday night special. We'll be back at Memorial Park, Veterans Stadium, as the Hounds will host Riverdale from New Jersey. Airtime is at 6 o'clock. Game time is at 6 o'clock. Airtime is at 5:45. 3 wide receivers to the near side as the Hounds are moving right to left. Carter Van Syok with the takeaway. Steps back away from some pressure, throws over the middle and right into the hands of Dumpstra at the 25-yard line, and the Indians have it back as Dumpstra returns it to the 19 or to the 14 of Shippensburg. That pass was intended for Philip Torres, but nowhere near was it thrown to the intended receiver. And the Indians are set to put an exclamation point on this ball game as they have it 1st and 10 at the Shippensburg 14.
Well, that play looked like the intended receiver was Drumsta because he just stood there and Carter threw it right in his hands.
And now Shippensburg's going to call a timeout. 28-13 the score with 4:17 left to go. And this has not been a good night for Greyhounds.
No. Just Waynesboro set the tempo early, didn't score till the 8:42 mark of the first quarter, but they had just been outplaying Shippensburg the whole first quarter, and they haven't looked back. Shippensburg made a little bit of a comeback, but just too much strength and too much speed between Kirshner and Frampton.
And this is huge for Waynesboro, too, because they've gone 1-2, lost a close ball game last week to Gettysburg. It gets them to 1-0 in the Colonial Division. Shippensburg will go to 0-1. Surprise, surprise, right?
Yep.
And plus the fact that the last couple of years, Shippensburg has pretty much beat up on Waynesboro in these contests.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the score from last year, but yeah, they just the last 2 years they've really took it to the Indians, and Indians were waiting on their home turf today for the Greyhounds.
So after the Shippensburg timeout, and that's their first of the half, here come the Indians with running room to the near side. Kirshner under center. And he hands the football off to Frampton, who turns it up the near side. And he'll get a couple of yards down to about the 12-yard line. Nick Waltz, Eddie Ocker on the stop after 3, 2nd down and 7. Ball is at the 11-yard line. Clock is turning, 3:45 left to go in the game. Running room to the far side as the Indians move left to right. Drumsta, the lone setback. Kirshner barking signals. He hands off inside to Quentin Gaskell, and Gaskell is into the end zone for the touchdown. Nice little inside handoff. And Gaskell put 6 points on the board for the Indians. So after the interception, the Indians do put that exclamation point on this football game, and it's now 34-13.
Well, another weapon.
11-yard touchdown run by the junior.
Gaskell's made some plays on the defensive side of the ball, and that was a nice run into the end zone.
So Souders is in to attempt another extra point. Frampton will hold. High snap, he puts the ball down. Souders puts the ball up. And it's through. 3:26 left to go in the game. And it's Waynesboro 35 and Shippensburg 13.
Timmins Oil Incorporated of Orrstown has been proudly serving the local area for over 35 years with quality fuel oil, diesel fuel, and kerosene products at reasonable prices. The Timmins folks invite you to call now and arrange convenient fuel oil delivery for the upcoming heating season. Call Timmins Oil at 532-3740. That's 532-3740. Or stop in and say hello at 12901 Mountain Road in Orrstown. The Timmins family encourages all drivers to exercise extra caution on the roads now that the kids are back in school. Parents, remember to take the time to become involved in your children's school activities. And this fall and always, save a life. Please don't drink and drive. Remember, for extra convenient fuel oil delivery this winter, call Timmins Oil of Orrstown now at 532-3740. That's Timmins Oil at 532-3740. The Timmins family is proud to be part of our Cumberland and Franklin County communities. And go Greyhounds!
Just 2 plays and 14 yards for the Indians. Sherrill awaits the Souders kick at the 9-yard line. He picks it up at the 13, out across the 15-20, has some speed, 30, 35, and down he goes at the 37-yard line. Nice return by Sherrill. He's done a nice job tonight doing that, Rob.
Sure has.
Guy Sullivan on the ankle tackle. So Shippensburg will go to work 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Got to mention that point after by Waynesboro, and Frampton it obviously does a lot of things, and he's the holder, and he made a heck of a play doing that as the snap is very high, and Frampton got it down in time for the extra point. Something else on his resume tonight.
So here come the Hounds. Moving right to left. 3 wide receivers as Nick Gustafson is in at quarterback. 3 wide receivers to the near side. Hauser the lone setback. Gustafson rolls to the far sideline, steps and throws, and the catch is made out at the 40-yard line by Alex Sherrill. That was incomplete, so it's 2nd down and 10. Looked like he caught that up the far side.
Well, Sherrill's only 5'5". It's kind of hard to see him from over here.
3:15 on a stop clock. That's all the time left in this game. As this homecoming crowd has been widely entertained tonight by the Indians. Gustafson steps and throws down the near sidelines on the fade pattern, looking for Kane Freidinger, and overthrows him at about the 30-yard line of Waynesboro. John Hoffman on the coverage, so it's 3rd down and 10.
Well, Gustafson can throw the ball. That was about 50 yards in the air there. but overthrown by a good bit.
Hounds break the huddle and send Adam Hauser wide to the far, and 3 receivers to the near. Hickman, along with Loy and Freidinger. Torres, the lone setback from under center. This is Gustafson stepping back and throws down the middle of the football field, and it's going to be picked off by Frampton at the 20. He's back across the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Cuts to the far sideline, 40, and is pulled down at the 35-yard line of Shippensburg. What a super return by a kid who has just had one heck of a football game and put an interception in the book for him. Trey Lynch finally making the tackle. But that's just a beautiful return on a pass that was underthrown right into the hands of Frampton, and he just picked his way through the Shippensburg white jerseys and a great return.
That's crazy. Crazy.
Ball at the Shippensburg 35-yard line. Hunter Clever is now in at quarterback for Waynesboro. Under center. Clever hands the football off to his lone setback, and he's going to go nowhere. Carrying the football was Logan Wishard, wrapped up in the backfield by James Monahan. They'll give him the line of scrimmage, so it will be 2nd down and 10. Each team with 2 timeouts, and I don't think anybody is probably interested in stopping the clock. 35-13. Indians completely dominating this ball game from the opening drive tonight. Clever on the quarterback keeper this time. Turns up the near side and is dropped by Caden Burnett as he gets to the 33-yard line. Picked up a couple. 3rd down and 8. Under 2 minutes now left to go in the game.
Obviously, Coach Faust getting some other players into this ball game in the 4th.
Clever watching the clock turn. Has yet to get under center. Now he steps on behind the center. Embarking signals, and he'll hand the football off to Lakin Rouser. And Rouser coming off the wing on the far side, turns it up the near side and is dropped for no gain on the play by Trey Lynch for Shippensburg. So it will be 4th down. 1:15 left to go on a turning clock. This could very well be the last play of this football game, because we can't really say enough about how well the Indians have played tonight. And it's been, I'm sure, a very disappointing evening for the Shippensburg Greyhounds. It's going to be a long ride back down the highway to Shippensburg High School. Clever drops the football, picks it up, scrambles, and is dropped for a loss on the 4th down play. Coming up to make the tackle was McCullen Kramer. So the ball will go over to Shippensburg on downs with 43.7 seconds left in the game.
Well, and the big question is Carter Van Syok. He sustained an injury. He went out for a couple plays, came back in, and then they took him out after the interception. But short week, got to play, get ready to play again Thursday, and let's see, try to find some stuff out here for you. But that could be a big blow if he's not ready to play next Thursday.
Gustafson has running room to the far side. He's under center. Hands the football off to Josh Connor. And Connor tries to turn it up the far side, gets out across the 35, and goes out to the 36-yard line. Logan Bonner making the stop. He'll pick up 4. It'll be 2nd down and 6. 23 seconds left to go. This will be the last play of the game. Gustafson under center. Hands the football off once again to Connor. And that's going to be it, as Connor picks up 1 more yard. 5 seconds left. But the Indians of Waynesboro have soundly beaten the Shippensburg Greyhounds tonight at homecoming at Waynesboro. A final score, Waynesboro 35, Shippensburg 13.
You have auto insurance because, let's face it, stuff happens. And then you feel punished with a rate hike after filing a claim? Erie Rate Lock changes all that. With Rate Lock from Erie Insurance, your low rate stays great until you change cars, drivers, or your address. Your Erie agent in Shippensburg is Carl Kramer Insurance. Get a quote at 717-530-8600.
Rate lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. Insured must meet necessary underwriting guidelines. Premium may change if you make policy changes. Not all products are offered in all states. Patent pending.
Your complete quality satisfaction is unconditionally guaranteed. That's the backbone that New Life Painting of Shippensburg has built their business on since 1998. New Life Painting has been providing Central Pennsylvania residential and commercial painting at its best. Keith and Chris Carroll welcome the opportunity to discuss your next painting project with a free on-the-spot estimate, and your satisfaction is the center of their quality work. Give them a call at 423-5577, and you'll soon learn what satisfaction and guaranteed is all about.
Well, this was an old-fashioned whipping.
It sure was.
From the start, the opening drive that Waynesboro scored on, and they never looked back. They were completely dominated Shippensburg tonight. Shippensburg could not get on track. What a great group of kids from this Indian ball team. And again, the Frampton kid, but Kirshner did a great job as well. Both sides of the ball, just a dominating performance, a well-deserved victory by Waynesboro.
There's no doubt about it. Kirshner threw 44 passes in the first 3 games, and I don't think he did more than 10 or 12 again tonight. He didn't have to, between his running and Frampton's running and Drum's running. He didn't really need to. They just kept Shippensburg's defense back on the heels the whole game, and in spite of all their penalties and turnovers, it didn't matter. Whenever they had to make the big play, they made it.
And it'll be a short week for the Greyhounds, is because they'll play this coming Thursday night back home at the Veterans Stadium Memorial Park against Riverdale, New Jersey. We'll have the game for you on the air at WEEO Radio beginning at 5:45, and of course right here on SE Sportsnet. Thanks to J.D. Davidson as always, and to my partner Rob Ebersole. Coverage of Shippensburg High School football is an exclusive and copyrighted feature of SE Sportsnet and the Shippensburg High School Athletics Department. Any use of the descriptions and accounts without the consent of SE Sportsnet and the Shippensburg Area Senior High School is strictly prohibited. Once again, our final score, Waynesboro 35, Shippensburg 13. You've been listening to coverage of Shippensburg Greyhound football on SE Sportsnet. Good night, everybody.